Here we go. Hello! Greetings and welcome to you, brave citizens of our new world. It's me, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terroir, the Starlayer 4.0. I'm your hopefully kind of benevolent DM this week. We're playing ourselves another game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with our B team. We are joined with our esteemed 6 players that we have here with us today. Going down the list, starting off, we've got Esteban playing Talrand, our skeleton archer.
Let's go shoot some humans.
And we've got Raynor playing Drakir, our dragonborn sorcerer. Are you okay?
Just using voice mod.
Okay, it just sounded like static and mess. I'm sorry.
You might
I was
want to
like, oh god, you've disconnected. Oh shit.
You might want to work on that particular setting. It was totally unintelligible.
Yeah, it really just sounded like your computer died.
And we've got Keldaka Gray playing, wait for it, Sneck, our Kobold Cleric.
So Cutie made me an updated Sneck icon so that I can use it in Discord, and now I have a Discord icon of Sneck that fits, and it makes me happy.
Nice. Dude, nice. And we've got Quad playing our Warforged warrior named Alloy. And we've got Palanthir playing Caleb Mistral, our Air Genasi rogue. Palanthir?
Then he died.
Palanthir?
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
I can hear you.
There we go.
Back.
Yeah, I don't know why it set me to mute.
Hard to say.
Caleb sound.
Hold on, just one sec.
Yep.
Okay, I think I got it.
Cool. And last but certainly not least, of course, we've got Ambisaurus Rex playing Piffles, our goblin bard. Oh, then I gotta do a stretch.
And you got to hydrate as well.
Yeah, all right, fine. You guys can't see any of this stuff, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
We got it.
I do.
You can hear it.
I habs to do it. All right, got him. Got him. Oh, I gotta eat some candy. All right, I forgot to get some.
Palanthir, I'm not going to lie. I just realized your last name. Your character sounds like he's a bit of a wet Air Genasi.
I'm sorry, what?
He's saying you sound moist.
You sound a bit misty. A little bit damp.
Mistral.
And yes, to catch people up.
I see what you mean.
That is a new icon indeed for the Bone Daddy, i.e. the Black King that's up there. This is the new art that was put together by Cutie Kitsune over on just a little while ago. And actually, you know what? It was posted in our artsy section, but we're going to show this off. This is sort of the unofficial / official group shot of us here for the Chronicles of Autometh. I'm just going to pull this up. Sorry, it's going to take me half a sec. There it is. Boop. Bam. And there we go. So
you gotta drag it down a little.
There it is. I know. Everyone. Shit, dude. Like,
I got excited.
Fucking I'm doing it.
You did amazing, Cutie. It is amazing.
Cutie did
an
amazing fucking job putting this together.
We look like we're in an anime.
If you're looking for, and also now all of our characters have sort of these individual arts for them that we can use. And yeah, so there's the sort of like the Black Kingdom of Autometh in the background, and there's the Black King up in the sky, and the perpetually autumn forest that surrounds the kingdom, and all of our lovely characters that we have here. But yeah, they're very reasonably priced. Cutie, very, very talented artist. So if you want to get some art done of some of your OCs or characters for other games or other D&D tabletop, whatever character is done, be sure to hit them up on the Discord. That we've got a link for down below.
Great work. Works fast. Works hard.
Hell yeah.
Just lots of awesome things in general.
Yeah,
we paid
really good shit.
We paid $210 for this piece, but it's a 7-character piece.
Yeah.
And we all got individual pieces.
Like, we got a deal on this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a massive group shot. We all got individual ones. Yeah. And then she was awesome and helped me make an icon so I could show it off even more because I wanted to show off the work even more.
Yeah.
This is something that took her a month, so $210. That is a steal.
And a month to do 7 characters and a custom background.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Mhm.
fucking...
I'm bragging
Excuse
to
me.
all of my family about it, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I've been bragging to all of my family, all like 90 of them.
Nice. Yeah, you
Look at
come
this
from a
shit.
giant family like me.
Cutie deserves all the praise.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, I showed my brother that drawing. He just pointed me and yelled, "Nerd!"
Thank you.
So I just gave him a smack.
I don't talk to my
So
family
I
about
slapped
nerd
him.
stuff
Even
anymore.
looking at the shading on that picture, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's some damn good shit.
Some
Now,
damn
I'm
good
trying to
shit.
find...
What?
Really? Is it just not... Did I just not have it there? Fine. I will look in here.
I like having the little
Here it
cloak.
is. So, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were making their way here. Let's switch to the map of Emerron here, so that
There
you
you
guys
go.
can actually see what's going on. Come on, there it is. So. When last we left off, our team was moving from the slave capture area just under the town of Ogun, just south along the edge of the wasteland. Woo-ha.
Ruled by Lord Kaliandros.
Calejandros. Anyway.
There it is.
So,
I was waiting for that.
actually, yeah, after literally setting the entire camp on fire and then teleporting all of the monster race slaves that were in those camps back to the kingdom of Autometh, you guys had made your way north to the town of Ogun and said your goodbyes to Copper Shaw, who then gave you guys a bit of information, said he would pass on everything that had taken place here to Lord Calejandros, and then you guys were going to be moving west, straight towards the larger city-state of Alderth. So far, I mean, your travels, the few days that it took for you to get to the road that's just south of Cabotshire was relatively uneventful. You guys crossed the path in the middle of the night there. You didn't alert any of the guards that were standing watch on the path, and you did see that during the daytime, the path is actually quite busy with people moving produce and fresh-grown goods in and out of the Empire proper. The Empire City. But yeah, so when last we left, you guys had just crossed that path, and it's the middle of the night, and you guys are still heading west. Is there anything in specific you guys would like to do as you make your trip?
Comb the area for anything edible.
Walk 500 miles
Hey!
and possibly walk 500
any-
more.
Any fancy herbs, any fancy flowers that have effects and whatnot.
I just want to eat stuff, so I'm gonna try and pursue things.
And stuff that's edible for
Yeah, roll perception if you're looking for things. Yeah, Envy, Piffles, as you guys are making your way along, you do, even in the dark as you're traveling, find a bunch of nice edible flowers and cram them in your
I'm a
face.
goblin. I got night vision. I'm gonna shove that shit in all my pockets.
Stop putting things in your mouth!
No.
No. So yeah, Esteban, you're looking for things that are edible?
not herbs and things that have purpose beyond
Um,
being pretty.
You find some more of those basic herbs which can be used for painkillers.
The Tylenolea flowers.
The Tylenolea flowers. Yes. I
had
was like,
that.
what was the name that we gave them last time?
I had that written down.
Yes. You find a few more of those. I'm going to say you find like 3 more of those herbs. And you know that each of them can be sort of like ground down into a paste that can be used as a painkiller, either consumed orally or rubbed on wounds. Yeah. It's not exactly an equivalent of anything we have in the modern world, but it's just like, it's basic herbalism stuff. You also find a couple of plain brown mushrooms, which are easily consumable. They don't really offer a lot of nutritional value like regular mushrooms, but, you know, for people that like them, God knows why, you can indeed eat them.
Piffles.
DM's note, I hate mushrooms.
I love mushrooms, all kinds of mushrooms.
As soon as I find them, they end up in Piffle's hands.
Yep, alright. Just
I feel
here,
like they either
you can
shortly.
have-
I get the feeling you regret giving us those brown alert mushrooms.
No, I'm like, I don't regret giving them to you. It's just that you do keep trying to use them on people that on one occasion resisted the effect and on the other occasion was immune to poisons. So I'm like, I am eagerly awaiting the moment which you will use them on someone that is affected by poisons like such, and you get to watch them shit themselves to death.
Making the important
Like
people
that
unmortified.
No
Horrified.
waiting for that.
I still remember the one time the A team went into shamans and they in that little fairy dragon tasted a little bit of the amount shaman kept.
Yep. It
So
was
there
just
you go.
like,
By
yeah, I go
proxy,
on
we
over and I
did kill
taste this stuff, and I'm like,
Uh-oh. I
cool,
missed that
so
episode.
you,
Shit.
yeah, and it was just like, yeah, I'm invisible, I just fly over to see what he's doing, and it's like, well, you see a couple of these mushrooms, and I describe them, and I'm like, yeah, they're just in this, thing, one of them is in, like, a mortar and pestle and has been ground into a paste, and she was like, yeah, I eat some of it, and I'm like, okay, do me,
I missed
resist
this.
poison, like, roll me constitution, and she fucking boofed it, and I was like, nice, you die. Like, you immediately die, and, like, poof out of existence because you're familiar. You shit yourself to death and then explode. So, she was like, oh. And then the goblin who had summoned her as a warlock was like, yeah, I'm gonna need to buy some stuff off of you right now to resummon my familiar.
Why? My familiar's an idiot.
And he's like, nice, I'm gonna give you these things at slightly higher than normal price because you're fucking around in my shop, and then I'm gonna have to ask you to get the hell out of here and don't come back.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm just like, guys, like, actions have consequences, dog. Like, you can't just do shit. Or you can,
Yeah,
but, like,
man.
you also can't get mad when this happens. Like, please don't get upset.
When you walk into an alchemist's shop and start
Ugh.
tasting the mixtures, expect there to be consequences.
I love-
You never taste alchemist mixture.
I love the
I was
little, like,
freaking
TikTok
out when this
videos
happened.
of the fucking, like, videos of, like, first day on the job assassins, like, poisoning the king's drink or poisoning the king's soup, and it, like, guy walks up, opens a potion bottle, pours it into a goblet, stirs it with his finger, and then, like, licks his finger immediately afterwards as he's walking away and, like, stops, looks back at the goblet in shock, and it's like, yeah, come on. Like, come on, man.
Oh no, I've made a mistake.
Or the guy, like, pouring it into the soup, stirs it with the soup, and then, like, as he's taking the wooden spoon out, like, licks it and puts the spoon down
Yeah.
like you do when you're cooking, and he just, like,
And I
like immediately collapses into the floor.
Yup.
It's like,
I've seen that one. That's great.
it's exhausting. Like, but I'm like, it's funny. Like, the person who was fucking around was obviously doing it with the notion that, like, they didn't have to worry about getting killed because, like,
They're familiar.
they're familiar. They could just get resummoned. It's fine. But whenever they were
Grabs all
goofing
kinds
around
of
and
stuff, puts it in her mouth because she's got companions to save her.
yeah, and I was like, it's like whatever. Like, you can fuck around, but like shit like this is going to happen.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I hope it was enjoyable for them. But yeah, just. Yeah,
there
I'm
we go.
picturing
By
Piff
proxy,
walking
we
through a
did
shop,
kill
sticking a
someone
finger
with
in
brown
every
alert.
potion pot in an aisle as she walks, just like whoop, 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 whoop. They start exploding
Yeah,
behind her
she
because
doesn't-
she's
she
mixing
doesn't
them.
quite do that, but she did manage to burn half her hair off in that place. So she leaned in a little too close, and that's why her hair's a little bit purple.
Yeah, Piffles' hair is not purple by choice.
Yeah, it's only the part that dipped into whatever it was.
I mean, that's how most goblins get differently colored hair, to be fair.
Oh yeah. So
And a singed buzz cut. Sad.
as you guys are making your way, you're traveling along towards Alderth. It's a couple of days worth of travel. Do you guys attempt to move quietly? Do you attempt to like maintain watch as you're going, like doing your usual thing, like finding a little crevice in
Fast
between,
and furious.
and like hide,
have
or
disguises
do you
yet,
attempt to go a little bit faster?
I mean, I'm
Sneaky.
using my illusion disguise.
I mean, we try to find the places to hide out at night, but we
Yeah.
are, from a distance, should look relatively normal.
Yeah. So you guys still have your disguises active, and you're attempting to move, like, not necessarily fully hidden, but you're moving in such a way that you'll be able to
We don't draw attention to ourselves.
not draw attention. Like, you're trying to stick to the little crevices between some of the hills along the field. It's a little harder than one might imagine, as most of it's just flat ground, but you're kind of like keeping to the lower areas of the land as you move, which is good. As the days pass and you guys eventually make your way to the outskirts of Alderth, you're greeted with this like extraordinarily beautiful, almost overtly extravagant Gothic architecture of Alderth. It's also, as you guys are there, quite a large city-state. Like, it's quite a large place as you guys are moving towards it. As you guys enter the area, it is nightfall as you approach the town.
That's convenient.
Yes, so that, like, you don't have to worry necessarily about getting spotted as easily. Do you guys wait for daytime, or do you move in under the cover of darkness?
Under the cover of darkness.
Okay.
You were.
Wood. Okay, I'm just looking for some nice ambient music.
Huh.
Do. Yeah, we'll see if that works. As you guys approach, okay, that's a bit much. That's I'm like, let's
Hey,
hit some
are we under
ambience.
attack?
Boom boom. Like, that's a
My
bit.
God, there's a traitor among us. Boom, boom.
As
Suddenly,
you guys
Jackyard slipped a
move
knife in between
towards the town,
Talron's ribs.
Movie music.
You fool, you disturbed the beat!
you guys move towards the town, and again, you're greeted with this beautiful Gothic architecture. The buildings stretch up towards the sky. You can see that a lot of the windows in the buildings are lit with candlelight or otherwise. A lot of the chimneys on the buildings are well enough. They have smoke coming out of them, so they're definitely inhabited.
We went from the Emperor's New Groove to what was it? Bloodborne.
Indeed. And
Anyone else suddenly afraid of old blood?
yeah, like, anybody else gonna have feeling? It's a weird feeling, right?
Make conniptions.
I don't have it in blood anymore,
Wrong.
so not
Wrong
really.
series.
Gives me conniptions. As you approach the gates, the large, ornate iron gates that surround the town, you notice something strange. There are no people to greet you. An angry, almost ugly, eerie mist covers the outside of the city, and it stretches inwards towards the alleys and darkened streets of Alderth. Just next to the gates, you see a carriage has been overturned, much like in this picture, and there is a lantern that has been spilled onto the ground, the oil from it burning idly. There are
That's
no
a little
people
sus.
around. Detect magic. Drakir, you don't pick up anything in specific that you're looking around, but you do sense that there is some extraordinarily powerful blood magic at play.
First it was abyssal, then it was infernal, now blood magic. God damn it!
Well, that's good for trying to find.
What's Caleb
trying
looking
to
for?
find Talron's daughter.
Is the
Well-
whole world coated in some kind of magic?
Caleb would like to speak now.
Sorry.
What's up, Caleb?
I want to try and find any form of thieves' cant just to give any clues as to what the fuck is going on.
You know what? With an 18, I'm going to give it to you. You see on one of the large stone pillars, like, God, you could have almost missed it easily as you were approaching the town. But when the gates are standing open, sort of hidden underneath one of the vines growing over top of the stone pillar is the symbol for leave.
Talrand,
Mm-hmm.
you're sure she's here?
Snack kind of likes it here. No people.
Guys,
I got a question to ask.
we're
Yeah,
not
what's up?
safe.
If I'm trying to detect something with primeval awareness,
Remind me what that is again. Frame awareness. You spend one ranger spell slot to focus your awareness on the region around you for a minute per level of the spell slot expended. You can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles of you in your favored terrain: aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, and undead. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
I wouldn't set off my own spell if I was looking for undead, would I?
You know what? I'm going to say no. Under normal circumstances, I think the answer would be yeah, because you're undead. But I'm going to say that you've learned to, at the very least, ignore your own essence in this regard.
I appreciate that, because that seems like the somewhat logical conclusion there of, oh, yes, there's an undead here.
There's always
Yep.
an undead here.
So, within 6 miles of you, what are you looking for?
I'm actually not in a favored terrain right now, so it's only 1 mile of me.
Okay.
And I think it's any of those, not just one.
I have to choose one,
Yeah, you got to pick one.
I think.
Doesn't say so.
For 1 minute,
It says, are any of those things near you?
you can sense whether the following. Yeah, it doesn't
One of the
say you have to
following.
pick.
No, it says you
No?
can sense whether the
Oh,
following.
the
not one
following
of the
types of
following.
creatures are present. Okay, sure, yeah.
It doesn't reveal
yeah.
the numbers or location, but it does tell me if
Do they
they're within.
exist?
Yeah.
You are sensing 2 things: undead and fey.
Oh, that's a great combination.
That
As
is
a matter of fact,
wonderful. Guys, let's leave.
Fuck.
Esteban, quickly roll me a perception, and then NB, we'll get to your perception in just a sec. Yeah, no, well, I mean, you beat the 5. Right above the gate, emblazoned in steel, in the center of the large iron gates, which now stand eerily open and unguarded, you see a symbol that is strangely familiar to you. It's the symbol of your old hunter order.
I also point out that I picked up the presence of blood magic.
We've got
Okay.
Fey, Undead, and Blood Magic.
Undead plus blood magic says just plus the Gothic architecture just shouts vampires.
All right,
Yes.
NB, what are
the
you looking
Fey
for
is
with
an
a 9?
interesting addition, though.
I was just checking out the area because it's all misty and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to see through the eerie mists that seem to fill the
Especially
streets
'cause I'm short.
and spill out. But yeah, looking around, it is strange because you see the smoke coming out of the chimneys, you see the lights in the windows, which means that the city is definitely occupied, which seems to betray the entirely empty, left open gates here. What about this? Does
All
this
right.
sound good?
Yeah.
We can always go knock
There we
on
go.
something. It looks like there's people here, even if, like, I don't think the ones in the carriage need it.
Caleb's just gonna call Talrand over.
What's up, Caleb?
We're not safe here.
You've
And
got
he just points out the Thieves can't symbol for leave. It's just someone left us a warning.
Was that to us or to anyone coming to this place?
To anyone. It says leave.
The question is, where would we go to find Silver Shaw? Because we need to make contact with them.
It's too dangerous right now.
Yes.
Like, how old is that mark?
With an 18, you can definitely tell that mark seems to have been left there, like, minimum, like, at least a year ago, maybe longer. Like, easily longer.
Thank you. All right. Been here for about a year, but
So Silver Shaw is still in the city, most likely. Unless if Mithril Shaw stopped hearing from them entirely and sent us here for no good reason.
If that was the case, Coppershaw would have alerted us that no one has heard from Silvershaw in that long. He said he was going to send a message forward.
Why
At least
are we
two.
Why are we afraid of dead things exactly?
look,
Alloy's gonna start.
I just have a bad feeling about this whole thing.
Not all of them are quite as friendly as I am.
Yeah, not all
Some
of
of them are not touched by the true king's magic, and other pretenders are around.
Not all of them
So
are
they should be saved or purged.
Yes, we're not an army, so we are cautiously
Alloy's gonna
going to
start
probe on how we can do
walking
this.
towards the cart.
Oh, by the grace
Okay.
of the Black Throne. Is there
Um,
anything that scares you, cleric?
Snek has king.
Moving over to the cart. What are you looking for? Are you looking for anything in specific?
At the moment, Alloy's just looking for any signs of people.
Yeah, roll me perception.
It's the middle of the night, right?
It is.
Should
yeah.
I roll with disadvantage since I don't have dark vision?
Well, there's
I'm just
burning-
taking it into account with regards to the DC.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to roll with disadvantage. Okay, well, there you go. So, fuck me, I guess. So
Alloy's alert right now.
yeah, it seems like Alloy's on high fucking alert in the moment. Digging around, you see that the back of the carriage that seems to have been overturned, the door to it is left ajar. Looking inside, you don't see any people there. It seems that whoever was inside left in a hurry. Some traveling belongings appear to have been abandoned. The animal that would have been at the front of the cart seems to have either been cut loose or broke free, as the leather strapping that held whatever creature, horse or otherwise, that was pulling the cart seems to have been cut.
All right. Here's what I'm going to suggest. We back off for now, set up camp at the edge of the city, and we come back at daylight.
I don't think I got any. I was going to investigate the cart, see if I could figure out what happened there. I'm guessing that does not happen.
No, I mean, you can do a perception, and I can give you details. Investigation is I think more attempting to discern information from a person. But yeah, with a perception of 6, no. You're looking in the cart, it's really dark. You're not really picking up as many details. Like, your attention seems to be divided between the innards of the cart and the setting around you.
Also, Doc, investigation versus perception is basically 3.5 search and spot.
Oh, there you go. Same thing to me. So,
just so you know.
yeah. Oh no, that's right. I'm doing like fucking sense motive and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's an investigation. But yeah, this investigation's a different thing. Sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna be coughing every now and then.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just figured like
muting my mic.
because I figured that looking over a scene, trying to figure out what happened there in real life is considered investigation. That's what I rolled with.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, with an investigation of 4, like, you're definitely keeping a bigger eye on your surroundings than you are, like, you're just kind of like, Drekir just throws a passing glance into the cart, doesn't really see anything, and then continues watching the space around you, I'd say. But yeah, Alloy, looking through the cart, like, this is kind of the stuff that you're picking up. Kara has redeemed a hydrate. I will do that. And... yeah, like, whoever it was that was there left in a hurry wherever they went. I'm going to say with a 21, you see some of the belongings that were in the cart seem to have been dragged out of it and go towards the gates. So it seems like they were trying to grab whatever they could carry in their hands and abandoned some of their goods as they were running. And there's like a few, like an open, not like a suitcase, but like, you know, like one of those big traveling suitcases is like open on the ground and some clothes are strewn about in a direction towards the gates. You also find a small chest in there that is, yeah, you just find a little small chest.
Sneck agrees with Caleb.
Was the cart facing towards or away from the city?
The cart appears to have been going towards the town.
Okay.
Can I make a history check on the history of this town?
Yeah, go for it.
Sneck agrees with Caleb that perhaps we should come back when Alloy can see.
With a history of 19, Drakir, you know that Alderth is a town of high society. The history books that you've managed to get your hands on dictate Alderth as being very old money. A lot of the people that live here are people that could just as easily live in the center of the empire, but prefer sort of their own architectures and whatnot opposed to them. It's like an East Egg versus West Egg kind of situation. These people are old money, old as balls. I'm going to eat some candy.
Can I look for signs of, like, an exodus from the city?
Yes, absolutely. Roll for me on that one. I'm going to say you can either do investigation or perception. Perception out of 20. Holy crap. That's you know what? Yeah, sniffing around and looking for tracks and whatnot on the cobblestones that lead just outside the city.
So well.
Yeah, yeah, I smell so good. You guys... He doesn't have a nose. How does he smell? Really well, apparently. Looking around on the cobblestones outside the city, it is strange. You notice the gates swing both ways. But they're opening inward. A lot of the evidence that you can see is the people that were here went in, not out. Is there anything else in specific that you're looking for?
I think it's beginning to wonder if maybe the things that are scary are outside the gates, not inside the gates. Maybe we should set camp like just inside the gates, where we can still watch everything, but also be just inside the gates.
I think we should actually make a distance from the town.
But everything seems to.
Putting up camp inside the gates is probably not a good idea. We'll get some severe investigation if we, get up in the morning and people go, "What the fuck are you doing?" So if we went in, we'd have to just go exploring.
Well, thankfully enough for you, there's no people in there. So,
But now the question is, would it be easier to find Silver Shaw during the day or night?
Day.
Doc, we gotta eat some candy. You're not allowed to kill us. You're not allowed to let vampires eat the party.
Why would it be easier to? Why would it?
Keldaka saved our ass.
Keldaka, I reject that.
We sent 20,000 volts. You're not allowed to kill us now.
No, I'm allowed to reject that, though. And I do. He gets his volts back.
Vampires, but they won't
You have
eat
been overruled.
No. The entire party will not be eaten by vampires, regardless of what happens. There's two slight problems. With
There are
that
two
said,
members who can't be eaten by vampires. They don't have any blood.
They might chew on the
somebody gets
bones.
up close and personal to Talrand. It's a
They'll get tolerant to their like vampire dogs.
it's a bit drier than normal.
Same for Alloy.
They'll try to drink Alloy's blood. Nope, just oil. They'll just gag a bunch.
So where do we want to set camp?
Oh, hey, we're getting a raid. By Suspicious
Raid
Tumble with 5
hour?
people. Thank you.
Ooh, in a tumble.
Hello, everybody who's coming over from Suspicious Tumbleweeds.
Son of a bitch.
Raid. Hello. It's me, Dr. Terrawat. We're playing 5th edition D&D. We're playing our monster campaign. So all the characters that we have here, all of our players are of monstrous races, exploring the surface world from the dungeon in which they were living. Tumble
Apparently
put her
this
mom
is,
in drag raid. Yo, nice.
Tumble's mom
Yes.
walking in drag.
Everyone's mom should be in drag.
Try to drink Talon's blood. It's just honey from the bees.
This is
Yes,
really,
Talrand.
really sweet. Why is it buzzing?
Talron's the fucking skeleton in the group, and he's keeping a beehive in his chest cavity. You haven't found those bees yet, though. I still like...
No, I guess right now they just burst into flames because I'm keeping the napalm in my chest cavity.
Yeah. Oh, there's fire!
Everything they don't want me to eat, I am the goblin guard that puts everything in my mouth. Everything they don't want me to eat goes inside of Talrand or Alloy, who is our giant mechano friend.
Your giant, your 2 walking vestibules to keep shit out of your mouth.
One's a skeleton, one is a tank.
They gotta put child-proof locks on them and stop you from getting in there.
Living child-proof box.
Yeah.
Pip is probably a drug to vampires.
Me? No problem.
Yeah, Pip.
Maybe.
I basically like I'm in shaman's alchemy shop a lot.
They try to drink his blood and it turns
totally
into like a 70s drug trip.
It takes a sip.
You have so
Piffles
many
just turns
mushrooms in my
around.
MR
pockets.
Classic
They take a
Magic.
sip. Piffles just looks back and says, "Hope you packed your bags. You're going on a trip."
Badass DM.
Thank you
2
so
vampires.
much, Mr. Classic Magic,
Oh,
for the
man.
donation. I appreciate that. We're at 850. Clean.
Who
We're at
has the
85%
brown
of the way
alert
there.
on them right
Thank you so much.
now?
2 vampires just point at Pipples and go, no, you can't eat
No.
that one unless you've got a guide for when you crash.
No. I want to know who has it on them because if it's Talrand and the vampires try to bite him, he should just slather his neck in that so they can shit themselves to death when they try.
I do believe that is Talrand
Per-
because
perhaps-
Talrand is one of the 2
It's a
people who's
it's a
immune to it.
vampire trap. You make yourself look human, and then they try to bite you, and they chip their fangs on the bones, and then they eat the brown alert, and then they shit themselves to death.
Or
Understand. Here's the thing.
What do you mean?
Some of you might know this, and I'm just going to give you this information for free. Vampires are greater undead. They are extraordinarily dangerous. Like a single vampire at like middling strength could probably take the party. So you'd have to be very careful if you run into these individuals. Like, you did meet some of them when you were in Autometh, but they were definitely allied to you guys, and you didn't have to actually fight any of them. But, like,
Yeah.
definitely you, Talrand, would know, as an old monster hunter, that these guys were extraordinarily dangerous, and that the means by which you managed to defeat some of them in your previous life involved a lot of traps. And, like, subterfuge and other stuff, because engaging them in combat, even 1v1, is a death sentence for most humans.
There's a reason why I was invisible to things I could see in the dark before I died, and I always carried around giant fuck-off bear traps and liked shooting things from a distance.
Yeah, there's, like, the fucking, like, bear traps made from silver and landmines that would blast silver powder into the air and all other kinds of wacky shit. Like, traps that would shoot dozens of wooden stakes at once. Like, you remember that you had to use a lot of these things, like holy water, sun rods and stuff like that, like items that would give off actual natural sunlight in order to dispatch vampires at their strength, because Like, before you died, you were a very seasoned monster hunter, and you knew that it was just stupid to fight a vampire 1v1 flat-footed in a field. You were a human being, they would fucking kill you.
There was the one time I broke a dam to kill one, and that really ruined his day, but...
That'll ruin my day.
They are
Alright,
harmed by running water, and they
got a
counted as
question.
running water.
We should go camp now.
I got a question for Talrand.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to look at your family tree, would we find the family names Van Helsing and Belmont in it by any chance?
No.
Now, here's the thing. Talrand, just as a quick brush up, you did work for a like guild of monster hunters. They were hunter folk that dealt with undesirables that preyed upon the good people of the empire, innocent folk. The emblem that you do see above the gate is that symbol, and you do recall that much. You also recall that there was a much more severe, though unfortunately also much more funded version of your guild, and that was the Inquisition. Those were the people that killed you.
Yes, I have a bit of a case of ass about the Inquisition.
Yes, they were like the kind of hunters that could maybe take a vampire one-on-one. They were extraordinarily severe, skilled. They carried very dangerous equipment. Yes, thank you, son of a bitch. And they had, like, convictions beyond belief. They oftentimes killed a lot of what people would believe to be innocent individuals in order to get to their targets. They were employed and deployed by the Empire in only extreme circumstances. The city of Alderth is the home of your Hunters Guild.
Do I know where it is in the city of Alderth?
You know
Have
what?
Have I ever been to this city?
I'm gonna say,
And
roll me
do I
a
remember it?
d20. Just roll me a d20. Just flat. 19. You do remember when you trained with the guild in Alderth way back in your younger days. Then you were dispatched to the woodline on the northern part of the kingdom to deal with any of the monsters that would try to come out of, emerge from, or leave the woods heading south into the Empire. The cabin that you set up there, just on the outside of that town, was the place that you stayed and where you worked. You obviously received information. Never go into the wastes. It's crazy dangerous out there. Don't do that. And also, like, which monsters to engage and when. You received tips from the guild on occasion as to what things would be moving through your territory and to keep an eye out for certain things. In terms of where it's located, you loosely remember its location.
I clearly know that, there's no way in hell anyone, the city would ever leave its front gates like this, yeah?
Yeah. The front gates to this town should be closed. There should be guards here, hunters like you.
I see no... I say we should press on, folk.
Sneck, with a 15 perception, looks out from the town trying to see if you can see a good spot to camp from where they are standing. Sneck, it's hard to see. There's a lot of fog behind you.
And I'm very short.
And also, it would not be a good idea to camp within line of sight of the city.
Not only that, but, like, again, you're looking back out towards, like, the path. You see the path sort of go from cobblestone to a dirt path as it sort of transitions to just, the dirt road that leads up to this town. And you see it go off out into the darkness, but it appears as though the silvery mist that is in the town is also sort of covering the field in a way. It's very hard to see further out.
Okay.
I don't think
we'll be much safer staying outside of the city. Our safest bet is to find Silver Shaw quickly. At least that is my opinion.
Doc.
Yeah.
You said I felt an aura of blood magic.
Yep.
I want to use an action to focus and actually visibly be able to see the aura around any objects it's affecting.
You know what? Yeah. Roll me for that. Roll me arcane.
Oh, that's not a roll. That's just something that I can do with the spell.
Oh yeah. You can just like focus in and see if you can find what it's affecting.
Yeah, if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
Well, so there's good news and bad news about that. As you focus your senses in, using sort of the innate magic that exists within your draconic lineage to sense the area around you in tandem with the spell, sort of like your training that you've used to really give you the ability to really zero in on some of this stuff, you, like, whatever this magic is, you're not familiar with it. You do know that it's blood magic in origin. It appears to be a curse. And everywhere you focus, you see it.
Oh boy! I
I'm gonna
make
say,
sure to let
roll me
everyone
an Arcana
else
check.
I gotta remember, I have my character sheet over here on the side, already open.
That's okay.
Ah,
8. Okay.
Dang it! So close to 17 there.
You might be able to see more information if it wasn't for this goddamn fog.
I am at this point assuming the fog is part of the curse.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
about
it
right.
is. Like it's hard for you to discern whether or not it is or not because it seems to be very prevalent.
That's just a gut feeling.
But like
So.
you're looking around, like it could very easily be that. Roll me a d20,
Don't
and
need to
before
be
you roll the
magic to
d20,
know
before you
fog
roll
equal
it,
bad.
choose high or low.
I am going to go low.
Okay, and then roll me a d20. 3.
With the way I've been rolling today, that was a safe bet.
As you're looking around, like the mist is very thick, and you're getting this ping in your senses from pretty much every direction. It's this lingering sort of infection that appears to permeate the whole of the city everywhere you look. It's hard for you to look anywhere and not sense this energy. As you're looking around, though, you're noticing that the mist is being made obviously very bright by the full moon. The moon's reflection off of the mist obviously makes it brighter and harder to see through the mist. It makes the mist a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Obfuscating. As you're looking about, your eyes drift up towards the moon.
You had to throw in a full moon as well.
It seems strange as you're looking at the moon. It appears as though the moon is also emanating this energy. At least that's what it looks like.
What has been the phases of the moon of the previous night?
How about new?
How about no? The face of the moon of previous nights? Have you been paying attention to those phases? Also, I will eat some candy, Phoenix. Thank you very much.
It's like I wouldn't have reason to.
Yeah, exactly. Characters that have like eidetic memory or whatever that ability is as a feat can usually do stuff like that.
Keen mind.
Keen mind. They have like the ability to be like, yeah, what was the shape of the moon the last few nights, and like what exact time of day is it, and which exact day of the year is it? Blah blah blah. The moon suddenly attacked. Roll initiative.
Don't tempt him, Merc. The last thing we need is this become bloodborne fused with Majora's Mask.
I gotta ask, Doc. Does the moon work on regular cycles in this world usually?
The moon does operate on regular cycles. Somebody drew an angry face on it.
I believe that would be the laughing lunatic right there.
Just a little angry face on the moon.
Guys, why is the moon crying?
Guys. So yes, looking up, you do see the moon, and you could swear it's also somehow connected to this energy. That it's involved somehow in the energy that you are sensing from all around you. But it's hard to tell. The moon is full, and it does look very big. It's a big old moon. I do not approve of you.
Do you draw people's attention to this, Rainer?
It's a
Yeah,
grumpy.
I share everything I found. Found out so far with my magic and my checks.
Grumpy.
Would I feel like it's as a hunter, I'd have a fairly reasonable knowledge of when the moon cycles are.
Mm-hmm.
Does that match what I know?
What you know from moon cycles, like they are definitely, very, very dangerous. Obviously, it's like runs on the same cycle. You know what? Roll me survival. As a hunter, you might actually pay attention to this stuff. 16. Yeah, no, it's normal night for full moon.
Well, the full moon is normal.
Like, the fact that it's full isn't out of place.
Right place in the sky, you know.
Snack thinks we should enter the town. Or leave.
Huh.
We've been standing at the door gates for time hour.
Yep.
Talrand was already foregoing into the city. But
I think
I
we
got
should
cut
camp
off.
outside of it.
I'm not certain we gain enough benefits to warrant coming in during the day.
We may already be in danger.
Yeah.
We may end up like these people that tried to leave the city.
Then
Well, they were
maybe
trying
we
to go
should
to
stop
the city.
standing in the
They weren't
streets.
trying to leave.
Yeah, we might wanna not draw attention to ourselves yet.
And not stand in the streets.
Yeah.
Do you enter the spooky old town?
But like finishing my thought, we could wait until the day, but we might already be in the whatever's affecting this. Might already be targets, and there's the counterpoint of the normal humans might come out, and that's a problem for us.
Not to mention, if this is a curse of some kind, it could also just be the longer we're exposed, the worse it gets, so let's not waste time.
This is true.
So our best bet may be to locate Silver Shaw as quickly as possible.
Indeed.
Okay, we have a plan.
Caleb, for perception, what are you looking for?
To see if anything's seen us.
No. It's hard to see, honestly. With the fog and the mist about, looking around, you don't see any other people. Looking up to the windows, while they are lit, you don't see anyone, like any shadows or movement or anything like that at this distance. So it's hard to say.
Alloy's
What a
just gonna
lovely
start
night.
moving forward.
It's just me and you and the moon.
Hey, you two should kiss.
Well, Alloy, you heard the moon.
Bonk their faces together.
Grimps.
Because neither of them have lips.
Just fight, kiss.
You have lips. Shit. Clonk yourselves together. That's all you can do.
Clog. So,
Clack, clack, clack.
do you guys move into the town?
Yes,
Okay.
let's go.
So-
That's our plan.
Moving to the sort of second picture that I've put on this thing down below. You guys enter the gates, your footsteps making easy echoing footfalls across the cobblestone as you make your way into the city proper. Moving through some of the streets, like in this picture here, you find yourself sort of going under these large, ornate stonework bridges, iron gates and gateways and fences covering a lot of this area. The town is, I mean, despite the fact that there's no one here enjoying it visibly, the architecture is both Gothic and gorgeous.
Snack
Caleb.
still thinks this place is pretty.
Are you guys moving in any particular direction?
For the closest back alleyways or areas that would likely have thieves' cant for us to direct us where we should go.
Dope. As you guys move further into the town, you do enter an alleyway. You quickly sort of move in through some of the streets and duck into an alleyway to avoid being seen by even people from those windows, or any people that may return to the street in short order. As you guys move in, you do see in the alleyway itself, rather a gruesome put together of images here. You do see there's sort of a mishmash of almost abandoned luggage that is in this alleyway. You do see a chained up set of coffins over against the left side that are made of wood and are adorned with ornate steel coverings that have been sort of affixed into the coffins themselves. There's an empty baby carriage that seems to have been abandoned in the middle of the street, amidst with a mixture of other personal effects.
I am just all the bad vibes, all of them.
all.
Acolyte's neck points at the baby carriage and says, "Piff, look, goblin and kobold-sized carriage."
Do I see any like
Oh,
signs of
Alex,
human
okay.
habitation in any of the buildings nearby? Like, are there still humans here?
Looking around, I'm gonna say with like your survival of 16 and your recent perception of 20, I'll just carry that. Looking around through the streets, it seems that like a lot of people who were here recently left in a hurry. That they, again, much like the carriage out front, seemingly abandoned their personal effects quickly and disappeared within the buildings that were nearby. A lot of the doors that you see are these large, ornate wooden doors made from very strong, very particular wood. Something like ash or oak, like very heavy, very strong wood. And all of them are iron-bound and are shut.
No mahogany?
There might be a mahogany door.
Mahogany.
There might be a mahogany door or two. Acolyte's Nice pushes the stroller back and forth very slowly to see if it squeaks or anything, if it just works properly. You grab a hold of the handle and give it a little push forward, and it makes an eerie squeak.
Yeah, no, that's gonna make us as loud as Alwyn. Can't have him push us.
Sala like turns back and looks at Snack.
It's like,
Shakes his head very slowly.
Caleb, thieves can't?
Yeah, thieves can't any sort of sign as to see if we're going to be getting any help here.
yeah,
Like where to go.
As you're moving through the alleyways, you do see one or two symbols that are carved into the bricks. Not around any of the doors, but more or less on the walls of the larger structures. There is a symbol that is an arrow in Thieves' Cant, though it is not obviously an arrow outside of Thieves' Cant. So you would recognize it as something that directs people or persons who can read it in a direction. It is pointing in a direction, and the symbol directly above it reads Hunter.
Talrand?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, you said that you were a monster hunter back when you were alive?
That I was.
Just how formidable are these hunters?
Hit or miss sometimes, but decently.
Because if we go that way, and he points the direction of the arrow, it's either a place where hunters go, or we're going to be facing one.
Let's not go that way.
Yeah.
As you guys are looking over the symbol in the alleyway, you do hear from a distant building, way off.
Like that. That
We need
doesn't
to get
sound
somewhere
good.
safe right now. We need to get
I
out of the open.
agree. I agree.
The large iron bell of one of the old cathedrals in the town tolls 3 times.
Is it
And
3 a.m. or is it out of the ordinary?
what's that?
So is it 3 a.m. or is that out of the ordinary?
It's hard to say. You've never been here before. So,
True.
as the bells
Where's my-
toll, everybody, I want you to roll me perception.
No,
Good.
like
Good.
Thank God, I got above a 10.
yeah, no, I barely perceive shit right now.
All right, so both Talrand and Caleb, you hear people
Fuck.
Where? What way? How many?
down the alleyway that you guys are facing. The symbol that's pointing that says Hunter in that direction. You hear a commotion of what sounds like maybe a dozen people. And it's hard to tell or make out what they're yelling, but they're yelling something. They're sort of shouting back and forth between each other.
Quickly grabbing a 6-foot piece of rope, I cut it and cast a spell,
Okay.
and then say, "Everybody up the rope! Everybody up the rope!"
Into the magic box.
Magic boy!
Don't need to tell my ass twice. Whoop, up I go.
We could like Alec could probably just like lift Iffles and snack up the rope.
All right,
In
so
you go.
you quickly cast your spell to create sort of that extra dimensional space at the end of the rope, and you guys all scurry up inside of it. Do you pull the rope up after you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so vanishing up inside of this rope, what you can see is down through this hole from the extra dimensional space, about 6 feet up in the air, and as
I learned from my mistake last time.
as you guys are sitting there and waiting, you can hear the footfalls of, again, about a dozen people echoing and yelling things back and forth between each other. And Esteban, Talrand, and Caleb, you guys, because you both got over 20, you can see what appears to be the flickering orange light of torches.
Interesting. I'm gonna burn my second tier 2 spell slot and activate Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
So we are now invisible inside a box,
Invisible.
floating in the air.
In an invisible box in the middle of the air. Poof, poof, poof.
And very sneaky.
Now here's something else. In addition to that, I'm gonna say, yeah. So both Talrand and Caleb and Drakir, you hear something in addition to all of the yelling, and all of the shouting and the footfalls of people going back and forth and wandering down the streets would appear to be torches.
Yep.
What was that?
No.
Puppies!
Nothing we can help.
Don't like this.
I
I
don't
What
don't
check would be
like
to
it
identify?
a lot.
Let's see. What check would it be to identify a creature? That could be survival. That could be dungeoneering, if that's still a thing.
Nope.
It's
Nature?
not. Nature?
Animal handling?
Animal handling, you could absolutely use. Estimate's got 15. Anybody else rolling?
I thought only they could hear it.
That's true. Okay. And Caleb, you can roll one of those if you would like. Survival, nature, animal handling.
I have 0 in all 3. Okay.
Cool.
Here comes a naked roll. Boom. And, okay. Not too
15.
bad.
All right, so Talrand, from his life as a monster hunter, you know that is the call of a werewolf. Caleb, you're not a monster hunter, but in your travels on the surface, you've heard people talk about this kind of stuff in taverns before.
I've probably read about werewolves, but I have not actually been able to ever hear one of their howls, so I probably wouldn't recognize
Yeah,
it.
like you just missed it, so it's like, I don't know, it could be a werewolf. Who fucking knows? It's like, You can't hear the books that you were studying with. At least not those ones in specific.
Do you tell the rest of the party what you have discerned?
It's a werehorse.
All right,
Can we ride it?
Just looking at
There's a werewolf.
Talrand and yeah, that was a werewolf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's a werewolf?
A wolf? Where?
You know, like the werebear we ran into? It's like that, except a wolf.
So new friend.
I don't know.
Debatable.
Yep.
Werebear was probably
Our friend was in the woods trying to get away and not hurt people. Even beforehand, this one appears to be in town trying to murder relatively innocent normal humans.
How do we know that? How do we know the humans aren't trying to murder the relatively innocent werewolf?
I said, potentially.
All right.
The fact that it's here,
Hmm.
the fact that it's here and not say outside of town would indicate that it's, here for a reason.
I want you to look me in the eyes on this one. You probably
Okay.
haven't heard stories of these things,
No.
but if one of them gets into Autometh, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath.
I mean, there are werewolves in Autometh. I'm sure.
Okay,
We got a
if
weird
one
hair.
of these werewolves, like he just points down the road towards the owl, if one of these werewolves gets into Autometh,
We also don't know that. We're mostly in a situation where we don't know whose side is on any side.
will you stop shitting on me? Okay, fine.
Well, you are
Uh-huh.
spreading misinformation.
Yeah, the knowledge that you
That's
have
a valid point,
of werewolves, estimating the information that you have on that kind of stuff is like, it's sparse. Like, werewolves are dangerous. Not nearly as dangerous as vampires, but they're a lot more prevalent because they can move around during the daytime, and for the most part, they're mortal. They are themselves immortal creatures. They don't age, but they look like people when they're not monsters, and they turn into monsters under specific circumstances, such as a full moon,
Yeah.
or if they're forced to change by other magical circumstances, as you saw with the bear.
All right. Tarrant, I got a dumb question.
Okay.
Did hunters ever employ werewolves in their hunts?
On Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
figured.
not that you've heard of. It sounds fucking ridiculous.
Okay, good. They're not as stupid as I thought they were.
I am now just imagining a were bloodhound.
If people hunt these, doesn't that basically by nature mean they're more likely to be on our side than theirs?
I don't know. Did the last guys we ran into that were hunted in Ogun, were they more likely to be on our side? The ones who were actively sacrificing our people to their god? False god?
I said more likely, not guaranteed.
I don't know. We've had far more luck with the humans on the fringes of things than we've had with the other monsters out here.
We turned people into jerky and killed a bunch of people that had clunky jewelry.
No,
Can
there
we-
was no we. You
And-
turned them into jerky.
Could you please not remind me of the people jerky? I'd rather have Barth up here.
And the only person we liked in the
so
city wasn't human. And then sent us to go find out where humans were coming from. And we found
Sorry, the
out
only people
there
we
was
liked
a-
in the cities wasn't human? I didn't know you didn't like any of the Shaws.
No, that's true.
They're a little sketchy. the Shaws.
Actually,
were
that
gonna
is
stab
a
me.
quick note that I meant to bring up. You guys are out of people jerky.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I'm out a while ago.
Finally.
In the travels in which you guys have been making, since you
Yeah.
guys had left Ogun, somewhere along the way, you guys ran out.
Oh yeah, no, I've got 7 days of normal rations, but I ran out of people turkey a while ago.
Yeah, I think I offered the last of my people jerky to the orcs.
Yeah, we were
I think
keeping
we kind
track.
of stopped caring about rations, considering Talrin can actually just feed all of us.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was still detracting mine because of the people jerky.
I'm
Actually,
mostly
that
just
is a
eating vegetation.
good point.
I'm living off
food?
shit I find on the ground.
Yeah, Doc. in wilderness areas, I can find food for up to 5 people each day. So they've not been burning through their rations.
Oh, we've been eating people jerky because it's people jerky. We want
Yeah, I was
to
gonna say,
eat it.
they have been openly telling me how much they've been eating their people jerky. And so I'm just like, no, you're out. It's gone.
Yeah, no, I ran out, I think, last session myself. I don't have anything
same.
in my item list
I think
anymore.
I fed some of mine to the orcs, the one orc lady that was like underground.
Executive
What am I going to do with
decision.
this
That was the
40
rest of it.
pounds of granola bars, though?
I still have lots of that
Bludgeon
tasty ass
someone to death
bug
with it.
granola.
Put it in a
Okay.
big sock and hit someone in the head with it.
No, that's good granola. What are you doing?
I'm going to feed it to a werewolf all
You
at
pour
once.
hot water on it, and it almost doesn't break your teeth.
It just reminds me of iCarly with salmon or butter sock.
Snack
I don't know
promises.
what that is, but it sounds gross.
It's a sock full of hard butter that characters swung at people.
Snack
Horrifying.
promises. Snack
That
promises.
sounds gross.
Shows if you've been watching.
Snack promises that he will not try to befriend the werewolf until we know if the werewolf is a friend.
Right now, we are hiding in the box until we
Yes.
have a better idea of what's going on. And unless if other and people have complaints. Nope.
As you guys are in there, you do hear the sounds of these people moving through the streets, but they don't appear to come down the alleyway. They move by the mouth of the alley and then continue on.
Okay. So, after about half hour or so, does the commotion die down? Is it quiet?
I mean, they pass where you guys are, but you can still hear them in the distance. But it seems that the mob that you guys were hearing seems to have moved past the mouth of the alleyway that you guys are in.
All right, I got an idea.
What's up?
Everyone stay here. I'm gonna scout ahead. I'm just gonna go to the mouth of the alley, take a quick peek, then come right back.
Look for more thieves' cant, see if we can find directions.
Well, of course.
Okay. So Caleb hops out of this hole. Roll me a stealth check.
Remember, +10.
Plus 10.
Quickly
25.
quickly as Caleb was jumping out, Frank would like to cast resistance on him just in case.
Dope.
Caleb is able to make his stealth checks when it matters.
Throw of his choice. Oh, cool. You can actually D4 on a saving throw of your choice.
Cool.
Yeah, so you get... That's neat. It lasts for concentration
A
up to a
minute.
minute.
Just a cantrip.
What's the range on that? Oh, and then it's just...
Has to be, yeah.
it's touch to cast, and then it's just whatever after that. They don't have to be within a range of you in order to continue getting that. So yeah, you hop
Give him
down.
a smack on the butt on his way out.
Just a little... Go get him, champ.
Quick little on the cheek. Yep.
As you hop out, do you head back towards the mouth of the alley that you came in, or do you move towards the far mouth?
Move towards the far mouth.
Okay. Stepping over some of the garbage and other sort of recently abandoned items that you're seeing in the alleyway there, you move to the edge, like the mouth of the alleyway, and you look out. Roll me a perception. Okay. As you get to the edge, you maintain the fact that you are still hidden, with Talron still being within relative range of you, and you still having that spell cast on you with a 25 in stealth. You're actually moving very quietly, and you're doing really well. You move to the mouth of the alleyway and are met with this sight. It appears as though much of the peasantry, a lot of lower class to middle class humans, are moving through the streets carrying torches and various weapons of different make.
Well, that's fun.
All right.
Across the way, just across the street. Most of this group seems to have moved past you. Like there's a sizable gap between the group that's moved past and a potential group that might also come down the street. Because the noise of their movement seems to come from all directions. It's hard to tell which way they're coming from or if there's any more of them that are going to be moving down this way as they sweep through the streets. Looking across the street, you see that there's a large, dilapidated cathedral. The doors appear to either have been knocked open or they fell apart. You can see that there is the glow of a fire inside.
And I don't see any thieves' cant at all with the 13 I have.
With a 13, you do still see a lot of the, well, not a lot, but you do see one more marking of the same two symbols: an arrow pointing out of the alleyway mouth and a symbol for hunter.
All right, I'm gonna head back.
Okay, yeah, it's relatively quiet as you sneak your way back to the alleyway and hop up back inside of the extra-dimensional space.
Holy shit. Where do I begin?
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Come on, we need a couple more. No, all right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I'm just going to relay to the group. All right, listen. Out there, it's a bunch of guys with torches and various other weapons. Across the way, there's a dilapidated church with a small fire burning on the inside. But I mean, I could probably have gone across, but there's a small gap between groups of hunters, but it looks like they're just, as I said, moving in groups. So, if we do go forward that way, it would have to be as one, but I do have to warn you, I did see the two symbols for... I did see an arrow and the word hunter in Thieves' Cant pointing towards the church.
Why don't we make you invisible and you can go check it out and you can come back?
Now, have you checked out the other direction either? The way we came from? If we missed anything.
I don't know what else we could have gathered from there, but
Well,
okay.
we kind of ducked into the alleyways relatively quickly. The stuff that to direct the new thieves is more likely to be in the front areas of the town and not towards the hunters. If we want to find Silver Shaw, I can't imagine they'd put more signs closer to the hunters, Silver Shaw this way.
Okay, I mean, your logic is sound. Screw it. I've already risked my life once, may as well have a second go.
Why don't we make him invisible before he goes and sneaks around? Because then he can be sneaky and invisible.
It's true.
And then he can go like scout and do like sneaky things and then
It's
come
true.
back and give us information. That would be very, very nice.
I see that he does it.
I don't have an invisibility spell, so if somebody else wants to do that.
Points at Piffles.
What? What do I do?
Turn things invisible.
Oh, right, I can do that.
Terrific.
Can you,
Wait, do you need to do it now?
Yes, turn him invisible.
Ooh, which
Lee.
one?
Caleb.
Caleb.
Because then he can be sneaky and invisible, and then he can read the Thieves' Cant things, and then he can sneak around and then come back and tell us where we should go. Rather than
That
us
makes
wandering
sense.
around lost in a town full of people who want to kill things.
Yeah, because, like, that mist is about us height, so I can't really see much.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely is hard to see.
I
You
am.
let the man do his job already.
I'm gonna do. Where is my invisibility? Invisibility. Where did it go?
'Cause he's got personality.
There it is. Okay, right. That's enough.
out of my cheese whiz.
Yeah. Invisible.
There we go.
All right.
Now you're invisible and sneaky.
For
Yep.
1 hour.
Yep, and I have to concentrate to do this.
All
So
right.
smack you on the ass and make you invisible.
It's always the ass with you two. I don't know why.
It's the
Because
highest
it's
thing they can
waist
reach.
height. I'm high-fiving your butt. I'm short. Do you want me to high-five the front? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to hurt more.
Yeah, that would hurt more.
That's why I go for the butt.
Unlike me, I high five your face.
You don't even have to high-five. That's a low five. I'm little.
Okay, back out I go and exit again, going back towards the way we came.
Okay. So going back towards the way that you had come from, so you're heading back towards like the mouth of the alley. That's
That did not have the torches. Yeah.
okay. So moving in that direction, you do make your way back out to that street, but unfortunately, some of the mobs have begun to move into that area. As they're moving out and sort of sweeping through the city in different places, it's hard to tell, but it's, yeah, like they've sort of they've gone down the streets on sort of both sides of that alley at this point. None of them see you from where you're moving, especially with the invisibility. You're doing pretty okay with not getting seen, but again, it's sort of all over it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and no other signs or indications, and thieves' cant or otherwise?
No. Just the same ones that you saw before that were indicating that that was a direction that you should go if you wanted to meet a hunter.
Okay, feeling more adventurous, going down the alleyway towards the torches and dilapidated church.
Okay. Moving your way in that direction, you're sort of met with that big street that the hunters were moving their way through, and across the way you do see that there are the doors sort of opened up, and you do see that there is a way in if you wanted to cross the street and move in that direction.
Okay, gonna wait for a big gap, and I'm going to cross the street.
Yeah. So after a couple of seconds, like you see, like the next group isn't really coming down the street yet, but they're sort of making ready to, as they inspect some wreckage or some stuff that's further up to your left, and then to your right, some of the guys have moved along, and there's a sizable gap that you can move through. Scooching through into the cathedral itself, you are met with a gruesome sight. A lot of the altar and a bunch of the rest of the stuff inside of this church appears to have been cleared and moved aside, along with some of the scaffolding that's being used to restore and fix the inside of this dilapidated church building. A large, ugly creature that you can only imagine is described as a werewolf has been crucified in the center of the area where the altar should be. It's been stabbed multiple times with wooden stakes and lit on fire.
Crucified? Like actually crucified, or impaled like it is in the picture?
Impaled like it is in the picture.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Crucified's a loose term
Crucifixion
in this
has
case.
a very different context.
Yeah.
It's werewolf Jesus and he's pissed. All right.
Off the top
All right.
ropes, Borv!
All right. Just looking at this, and it's just what? All right. Just gonna make a perception check to see if there's anything else in this room, like any sort of symbols or. Nope,
Anything
that's
like that?
not it.
You don't see anything as you're in here. Like, your attention is almost entirely affixed on this creature. Like, it really does capture a lot of your attention. It's hard for you to really look away from it and look around for any symbols or anything else that's in there.
Like a lava lamp.
Turns back to the screen to see a bonfire werewolf. Fuck, dude.
I mean, it's still impressive that you got a 7 on a natural 1.
Yeah.
Eh.
It's a +6. That's pretty baller.
Alright, so Caleb's probably just a little bit shooken up right now.
That's fair.
So he is
Shooken.
going to GTFO back to the group.
Yeah, so turning about and
Get the fuck out.
and scuttling along, it's easy for you to keep your footfalls quiet on the cobblestone, as you don't necessarily need to worry as much about being seen. Moving in an invisible way, you're able to scurry across to the alleyway back again to where the rest of your party is currently residing.
I don't think I can unsee what I saw in there.
What did you see?
Yes, do inform us.
Something that I'm guessing was a werewolf, but they stabbed it multiple times and set it on fire.
Yes, and I'm sorry. That's a very applicable way of killing things that are resistant to dying.
It didn't stand
Stab it a
chance.
bunch and light it on fire.
It didn't. It looked like it didn't even stand a chance. I didn't see anything else.
So bad people. Got it.
Well,
That
they
sucks.
were honestly they're my former associates, so we knew that part already.
Then why weren't we helping the werewolf?
Because we also don't know about the werewolf.
I'd argue that whatever the werewolf is, however pissed off it is justified.
You know, it's nuts. I thought that I thought I could live my whole life without audibly being able to hear someone pout. But there we are.
You're not wrong.
I was just like, wow. Like, you're just sitting here listening to that. I was like, holy shit. I didn't know you could hear somebody pout before, but there it is. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I should be flattered or insulted.
A little of both.
Oh, sorry.
Because from the sheer numbers that Caleb's described, we couldn't have helped him. We would have gotten ourselves killed. We didn't know that he existed until he howled. And I do know that werewolves you often find inside of towns like this have wandered into here with the explicit purpose of killing and murdering people. They are not people we want to be
justified.
friends.
No matter what, there was nothing we could have done.
There's
were
nothing
at
we
a
could have
major
done.
disadvantage.
And
I'll agree with that.
just because just because he was killed does not mean it was justified. For as much as the people that I used to be a part of are in the wrong, most of them thought they were doing what they needed to do to protect their families. I signed up so I could protect the people from my hometown, so that I could deal with the things that hunted us in the night. And a werewolf in this town is likely something that came here to murder people. Not on a grand crusade. Snuck in specifically to murder innocent people. Usually is how it went.
Then why are they still looking?
Because clearly this town is having more problems than just a singular werewolf. Because a werewolf is not fey and it's not undead. And isn't blood magic. We have three known problems, and the werewolf checks off none of those boxes.
I got 99 problems and a werewolf ain't one.
We've encountered a dead werewolf, and it is literally just more questions. It wasn't even a question. It doesn't answer any questions. It just adds more questions.
So where do we go now?
I don't even know if we can attribute this to an underlord. It's just like none of it really. There's no real crossover between any of this.
Fae, undead, blood magic, and werewolves. I mean, the undead and the blood magic, yes. But the
So where do we go
Fae,
now?
I don't fucking know.
We need to find this town's Shaw.
We need to find this town's Shaw, but apparently this Shaw felt the need to leave absolutely zero indication of his presence anywhere near the front end of the city.
To be fair, the previous two didn't either. We ran into a member of the spy network in the first city who brought us the Mithril Shaw.
We weren't
we just happened.
We weren't looking for
And
it in the
Copper Shaw
first
just
city.
happened to flag us down back in Ogun.
He's probably still here.
Coppershaw didn't flag us down, did he?
Yeah, he saw you guys in the tavern and then asked you guys to meet with him outside the town.
Oh.
Listen, this town Shaw.
Sorry. I gotta double check. Mithril Shaw should have given us relatively explicit directions on how to get in contact with Silver when we got here.
Sorry, just plugging something in. Sort of. Is kind of where that bears down. It was like, go to the town and look around for Thieves' Cant and look for this particular symbol is what she gave you. They rather. And they gave you the symbol that Silver Shaw would use to indicate his presence, but you haven't seen it yet.
And we also have to keep in check that a spy network like this would probably work in cells, so that the other cells don't necessarily know what this cell is currently doing.
So are we going to go explore the town while we have extra sneakiness, or are we going to leave and come back during daylight when there's going to be more people around? Either way, people are looking, so we need to choose what we're doing.
Don't know which direction we should go in right now.
Then we need to just pick one and go.
Well, both ends are covered by massive hordes of humans.
Then we can wait the hour we have in our invisible hole and then figure something out if they haven't left.
We've already burned half of that.
If not more.
Oh. So either we need to leave while there's people about, or we need to move while there's people about.
We can't, considering the stake to werewolf, your disguise does not work. They see you, they're just going to ask, why is it not dead?
Doc, how safe are the rooftops?
Funny
Do you want to put alloy on a rooftop?
You know what? Despite the fact that the town is like misty and so therefore kind of moist, and things are like all the stonework that here is like wet to an extent, you think that due to the mist and the fog, all the stonework in this town appears to be relatively moist. But due to its architecture, it's actually not impossible to climb up to the roofs. You could make your way up to a rooftop, and you're not sure about other members of your party, like the Piffles and Snack and Alloy, but you're pretty sure that like you could climb.
You can climb and drop down a rope.
Climbing is athletics.
All right, while everyone's just sort of arguing, Caleb's just sort of sitting, head in his hands, just the rooftops may be our safest bet.
Snake likes his plan. Let's go.
I'm excited for this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do this.
I can climb up with the rope. I'll drop it down. The rest of you climb up.
Nope.
But we need to stay out. But we need to stay out of the moonlight.
Yep.
It's next to impossible, I know. It's a bad plan, but it's a plan.
If we're going to the roofs, we're not going to be able to stay out of the moonlight.
I know that, but...
Why are we staying out of the moonlight again?
Look. These hunters are roaming around with torches and any sort of weapons. Odds are, some of them may have bows, some of them may have some form of projectile weapon.
Oh, you just want us to be sneaky on the rooftop. I was wondering if there was a particular reason other than... I thought you were implying that there was magic in the moonlight.
We might be able to spot something that Silvershaw left.
Yeah, no, let's go to the rooftop. I'm behind this plan.
Okay. And with that,
Any major objections, people?
Not so far.
Okay.
Alloy, Sneck. Anything from you two? You guys have
Neck
been...
is behind this plan. He said that already.
All right, Alloy, how about you? You've been pretty quiet.
As long as we don't get caught by the mobs and...
Well, that goes without saying. All right.
We've got like 20 minutes before this box stops being a box, and we're just a bunch of circus folk standing down an alleyway.
Standing in an alley.
Yeah, well,
You should stop being here before that.
That's
go.
good cover.
Let's-
Circus
yeah,
people.
let's move quick. All right, in that case, drop out of the box, climb
Okay.
up the building, or no, I don't have to climb. How tall are these buildings? Like 20 feet?
A lot of them, we would be going
30?
close to maybe like 60 feet, because some of
60.
them are like 6 stories to 8 stories or so, the low-rise structures.
All right, and I'd only be able to float half the way up.
Well, you can still float half the way up.
Yeah, okay, I'll float halfway up and then climb the other 30 feet.
All right, so activating your Air Genasi lineage, you float your way about halfway up the side of this building, tall as it is, and get yourself situated and sort of grab onto the wall. Give me an athletics.
That is a, oh dear, a 1.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, bam. Okay.
12.
All right. So you're able to find purchase in the larger stonework, like getting your feet and fingers nestled in between some of the larger stones, climbing your way up. It's hard going, though. With a 12, you make a little bit of a distance, like you get about one more story up, like another 10 feet, before I'm going to need you to roll again.
Okay. Uh-oh.
You do lose your footing and slip.
Damn it.
Oh, no.
I should have done this. My acrobatics is insane.
Oh, no,
Doc.
no.
Yeah, but he's doing athletics. Your athletics is terrible.
It is.
Yeah.
I stole my resistance.
That's not a saving throw. What would I need to roll to try to catch him with my fly and catch him?
Let's look up
Can you-
fall damage, everybody.
This is why I need to know what it would take for
Yeah,
me
that
to
would be a
catch
good
him.
idea.
Isn't
I
it
can
usually
move.
Isn't it usually 1d6 per 10 feet?
I can technically move 60 feet in this round.
Oh, I do not have that.
I would say you would have to do a dexterity save to react. Because nobody stated that they were going to do a prepared action in the event that he slipped.
Acrobatics or just straight dex?
Let's see.
Oh, dexterity
It
save.
doesn't actually. It's two either way, so it doesn't actually matter. I can just roll acrobatics to give me the right numbers.
Yeah, sorry, Piffles, I'm just going to look at your character sheet really quickly, just so that I can see some stuff here. Beep, bop, there we go.
Too slow. I'm struggling getting the backpack and the cape and everything off.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Also
no,
got
it's
wand.
like I would say it's a dex save to try to do it with a DC 10. Drakir, I'm gonna say you make that. What are you gonna try to cast to catch him?
Oh, not cast. Just try and get underneath him to grab him. Try to cushion his fall a little bit. It's the most I can do.
Can he try to make a like an acrobatic recovery before he hits the ground? He does have 40 feet of fall time.
He does. I'm gonna say roll me acrobatics.
Okay,
Caleb?
that's slightly better. All right, there we go.
Okay, so as you're falling, you manage to sort of like grip the stones as you go and like kick off the sides of the alleyway to lessen your fall. According to the 5th edition rulebook, A fall from great
hear that,
heights is
Doc?
one of the most common hazards facing an adventurer. At the end of the fall, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet it fell at a maximum of 20d6. The creature lands prone unless it avoids taking damage from the fall. Now, luckily, your friend Drakir got underneath you, so he's going to take half that damage.
Ooh.
Dividing that damage for you in half. You fell 50 feet. Now, because of your acrobatics on the way down, I'm going to reduce that damage by half. So we're going to go roll, and that's 5d6. So we're going to take that number, 18. We're going to cut that in half.
To 9, okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be 9 damage. So each of you, I'm going to say, takes 5 bludgeoning damage.
I just think it's kind of dumb that we have to use strength to climb up a wall like this.
Snack.
Yeah, I mean, dexterity certainly plays into it, but strength really is the factor for climbing stuff.
Yeah, it's your strength that lets you pull yourself up.
But, okay then. So, Caleb should not be the one climbing. It should be Alloy.
No,
Snack would like
shit.
to do it.
It
Snack
should
would like
actually
to do
be
it.
Alloy.
Snack doesn't want to see any more of his friends fall. Snack would like to do a thing.
Now,
Alright.
here's an additional, sorry, I'm just double checking. Yeah, 1 extra foot, and it's always an athletics check. Yeah, okay. I was like, is there a way that you can use acrobatics instead? And the answer is like, nah, if you're climbing or swimming or doing one of these things, it has to be...
Acrobatics would be more
acrobatics.
like kicking off wall to wall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because you can be dexterous as fuck, but that's not going to help you climb stuff as much as being very strong will. Excuse me. Now,
Yeah.
the downside to this is not just the damage you took, but also when you landed in the alleyway on top of your good friend Drakir of the clan Ambraxis, you made
Oh, no.
some racket.
Oh, no.
That was
Back in the box.
a crashingly loud noise as you fell down and slammed into your friend, the both of you splaying out onto the floor of the alleyway, crashing into some of the garbage that's there, knocking over the baby carriage. Some of the other things sort of like rattled and make a bunch of noise. You hear in the distance a person's voice go, "Hey, what was that?"
Oh, shit. Alright. Pick up Dracula, just come back in the box, back in the box, back in the box.
Yeah,
Does everybody get back in the box?
In the fucking box.
Like a couple seconds ago, everyone out of the box! Oh, everyone back in the box!
Back in the box! Back in the box!
What's in the box?
Does everybody get? Does everybody get back in the box?
Yes.
We are back in the box.
No
Back.
objections? Okay, good.
Oh, object.
I'm gonna say you have about 15 or so minutes left of box time. Everybody scrambles quickly back inside of the box and pulls the rope up inside. You hear the sounds of footsteps running to the mouth of the alleyway, and you do see the flickering orange light of torches as some people enter the alleyway using their torches to look around.
While sitting in the box, Snack would like to gesture to somebody else for like wanting more rope, because I only have 50 feet of rope.
Oh shit. How much do I have? Do I have rope? I have
Alloy's
mushrooms.
just gonna pass him his 50 foot of hemp rope.
I
Just want to tie the two ends of rope together, basically.
Yeah, I don't have rope. You guys gave me a fuck ton of daggers, but no rope. I got all the coins.
Snack's just gonna use the time to just like really like 20 knots levels of firmly tie these two ropes together.
All right. As you guys are doing that, I imagine everybody's doing their best to be quiet.
Uh-huh.
Passing underneath the hole, you see one of these peasants carrying a torch. Up close, you can see that they're definitely like lower to lower middle class humans, dressed in long leather coats with large, wide-brimmed leather hats. They're wearing thick leather gloves, and a lot of them are adorned with like A, torches, and B, melee weapons of varying design. Axes, saws, clubs with like sharp pieces of metal attached sort of haphazardly to the end in one fashion or another. One of them walks directly underneath the mouth of the hole.
Talrand reaches over to Drakir, whispering like directly in his ear. Down the alleyway. Make a cat noise and a skittering pot or something. I don't care.
Except we can't talk, which means most of our spells don't work.
Does that cantrip require a verbal component?
Actually, I don't think Minor Illusion does.
It does.
Oh, Minor Illusion might not, yeah. I know Thaumaturgy does.
Somatic and material. I just gotta make a hand gesture.
Yep.
Perfect.
Now, do you need to see the place in which you are making the sound? Because you're inside a box. The only place you can see is basically on this guy's hat.
True.
Well, it's like a glass window. He can lay his head flat and look down the alleyway.
Yeah, and collide skulls with the guy who's walking. It's only 6 foot off the ground.
Well, the window is smaller than the room is.
Now,
Yes.
just in this
So he can lay his
situation, as the guy is coming down the alleyway, I just want to give you a few more details. The way that he's standing is a little bit hunched because he's using the torch to see. So his head is just clearing underneath the box. Where he's standing holding the torch up, the top tip of the torch actually passes just under the mouth of the box, and like a few embers and the licks of fire are coming up inside the box.
Nobody do anything.
We need to distract him away from where we are.
He'll
I
keep
actually-
walking.
I do not need to see the location where I'm casting. It just has to be within range.
Okay, do you cast this spell?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do with it? Like, what's the outcome that you make?
I make like a little cat or raccoon appear in
A cat
trash and then just like dart off.
Or you
Okay,
make it-
cool.
Sorry.
Also looks like the cat knocked over the garbage can or something.
The minor illusion, is
Yeah.
it visual only or is it auditory?
It's one or
Visual
the other.
and auditory. I
No,
can do
it's
both.
one or the other.
The loot.
The
Minor
sound or
has to
sound
pick
or-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna double check on that though.
Oh yeah.
It's you create a sound or an image of an object.
You can make a sound.
In a dark alley, they won't be able to see much.
Okay, I make it the sound of like a cat darting off behind them.
Okay, so further in the alley, the way that they're going, or behind them where they came in.
Behind them, where they're not looking currently.
Okay. Yeah, so you kick off this spell just a little ways behind where the man is standing holding his torch. You hear this like "Meow," and then like the clatter of some garbage, and he turns around suddenly and goes, "Oh, bugger! Shit! Bloody cats! I'll peel off your lid, turn you upside down, and tap the shit out of you. Fuck!" He walks out of the alleyway.
I like that. Yeah.
So who wants to poke your head out the hole and make sure there's no one else around?
How about the invisible guy?
Yeah, that's a great plan.
I'm still concentrating, so he's still invisible.
How about that shit?
How about that shit? All right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you turned him invisible, and he was trying to climb the side of that building, and it doesn't
Yep.
matter that he fell and stuff because you're concentrating, so it doesn't matter.
I've got the concentration for him. I'm the one doing the concentrate.
What's the range on that spell?
Oh shit! Let me take a look here.
I don't think
might-
it's a
don't think
range just as long
Let's
as
say it didn't have a range. It was
I
just
know, I had
a.
to touch him, and then he turns invisible. A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target
Doesn't
is
matter how far away they get.
just on the person. Yeah, no, we're good.
Less than an hour.
Okay, so as long as you continue for an hour concentrating, then he just remains invisible. Okay, cool. Cool. As long as there's not like a range that if he moves outside of that range, you're gonna suddenly break the spell, which is cool. I like that. Because I was like, God, I don't want to put more fucking restrictions on this. All right, so we still have an invisible man. Do you poke your head out?
I poke my head out.
Poking your head down out through the hole, you see that the human is walking back towards the mouth of the alleyway. There's another 3 gentlemen standing there with torches waiting for him. As he walks towards them, he waves his hand and goes, it's just a bloody cat, and then makes his way out into the street.
So they all leave.
You have to admit, me grabbing that minor illusion spell has been a godsend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn handy.
Yeah. All right.
Damn.
Okay. So
All right.
they all left.
And yeah, they move on. After a couple seconds, they continue on. At the mouth of the alley, there is still the odd person with a torch that sort of moves past the alleyway, but they don't appear to be looking down.
We're clear for now, but they're still passing around the mouth of the alleyway.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta be
Snack.
careful.
Snack needs everyone to stay here for a minute, please. Please, 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 please trust Snack.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
I trust Tiny Friend.
Wait. I'm just gonna turn to Piffles. Can you transfer this, say, to sort of padding like the invisibility, to him?
It's pretty impressive because he's.
Pat it once it's cast, it's cast.
I'm sorry. You're totally invisible. And you're waving your invisible hands, you're patting your invisible self. Can you pass this?
You're him patting himself.
Pass.
How many
what?
fingers am I holding up?
And then all of a sudden, Talron feels the back of Caleb's hand upside its face.
Magic.
Caleb feels the hard bone of Talron's indifference.
Snack would not argue with being invisible, but Snack also understands that you can only do that so many times a day, and you might not want to.
Oh, fuck.
So Snack just needs to know if you want to make him invisible before he does something. If not, that is okay.
I will be right back. I need to grab a drink.
Go for
Well, I
it.
can always use up another spell slot and do it invisible, but I gotta think real hard about it.
Can you think real hard about it and about whether or not that is something
Well,
you
it's the
can do?
concentration. I have to make sure that I'm concentrating the entire time. So like people are gonna have to cover me. Because
Snack
I'm
won't
not
be gone long. Snack won't need it very long.
I think you can only have one concentration spell active, right?
Yeah, she'd have
Can I?
to drop this, and yeah, you'd have to drop the invisibility on Caleb, and then use another spell slot to cast it on me, which would then require concentration for that spell.
If I'd known this was gonna happen, I would have casted it on a higher spell slot. Because then I could have done both of you at once.
True.
But bitch cakes and titty biscuits, here we are. Okay, so I'm dropping it on Caleb and I'm casting it on you, right?
Okay.
So I have to picture you with nothing. Okay.
Talron turns to look at Piffles and goes, "The goblins
Okay,
have
I'm back.
the weirdest cuisine."
Poof.
So Snack is now invisible.
Snack is now
Snack
invisible.
is now invisible.
Snack has asked everyone to stay where they are inside of the safety bubble, and Snack is going to take 60 feet of rope and his grappling hook, and I'm going to fly to the top of the damn building, wrap it around something, and use a grappling hook to secure it.
Oh yeah,
Son
I
of a
have one
bitch.
of those.
Oh my god.
Why must you fail me so often?
So,
Snack doesn't want to see anyone else get hurt.
you have
but he
a
also doesn't-
flying spell. You had the flying spell this whole time?
I don't have flying spell.
He has
I have
wings.
wings.
Ah, the wings.
Nugget.
God, I forgot you have wings.
That's kind of the point. That's also why I wanted everyone to stay in the safety bubble where they can't see me using them.
And you're invisible, so it's not like anyone could ever know. They just, you just suddenly
I
go
just
out.
fly up 60
you
feet because I can do
fly
that.
up, and
I also
yeah,
around
wait for
like a chimney or
way
something,
too
and
level to have the flying spell.
it certainly takes you a lot of effort to get up there because you're going straight up.
Yeah, I can fly about 30 feet around.
Ascending with your wings is definitely a lot of effort, but after some time, you do actually make it up there. And getting yourself onto the roof, you attach the grappling hook to something nice and sturdy and throw the rope down.
Oh wait.
And then Sneck's going to fly back down because I have no way of,
spell?
I have no way of telling them that I am, that it's done.
I know what's
Without
going
down
on.
first.
All right, the rope's done. You can climb on the roof now to avoid the mob.
The mob. What was that?
yeah. So yeah, you guys from inside the box hear the faint clatter of the rope hitting the ground. And
That works. I'll just stay on the roof then.
it's good. You guys see the rope is now there.
It's not coming back. We should
Well, no, if you
probably
hear the
try-
rope, you hear the rope kind of hit the ground, so.
He didn't tell us. He's done his thing, so he's probably up top. We should try to go out. Me and Alloy will go first.
Okay.
And you guys stay up there for just a second. Talrin gets out.
Alloy's gonna wait till Talrin starts flying.
Doc, did you
before he
legit
jumps out
forget
and
I had
starts climbing.
wings?
Yeah.
He is
I'm very
fairly
tired.
deprived day,
To be fair, I am playing it right then, because the whole point was to, Sneck is not comfortable using them, so.
Yeah, I
It's a plot
I remember
device
way
that-
back when we started this being like, yeah, I'll allow it if it.
But
like,
only if I
doesn't
don't,
become a
abuse the
thing.
crap out of it.
Yeah, if you don't abuse the crap out of it, and honestly, I'm willing to. I think this is fine.
I had to wait for a
Bates.
party member to fall before I was willing to do it.
Which is fair.
Hadaka.
Plus, to be fair, I just checked. Fly is a 3rd level spell, so it's flat out superior to winged flight. So at this point,
I was okay. So
Just-
Kaldaka,
Mm-hmm.
Tolerant has gotten out of it and is looking up, presumably where Sneck can see. Points to
Sneck's
the-
technically invisible still.
Yes, he's looking up, hoping Sneck can see him. Walks over to the rope, shakes it, goes
Sneck-
thumbs up, and
Sneck just kind of shakes the rope back and forth as a, yes, I'm here. I don't want to be loud.
well, yes. Talrind was trying to give you an opportunity for everyone to say, yeah, we're good to come out without you potentially revealing anything.
Yes, you shook
All
the
right.
rope, and Sneck kind of shakes the rope back, yes, I'm here, we're good.
Okay. So
He
for
motions
everybody
to the
that's
others to follow.
attempting to climb the rope, because there are no rules in the system that currently discuss this, but speaking from personal experience, climbing a rope, even when braced against a wall, is fucking awful. It's only going to be a DC of 10, and you get to roll with advantage.
There is climbing, Doc.
What?
Well,
In 5th
There-
edition?
Yeah, I think.
That's the thing, is that it's like climbing is
the-
used with you use the athletic skill whenever you're climbing stuff, and I was like, okay, but what if you're using a rope? And there's nothing in the rules that talk about using ropes for
Admittedly,
climbing.
I'm getting this off the 5th edition SRD,
Oh yeah.
so the system's reference document.
Okay.
Climbing or swimming, each foot of movement costs 1 extra foot, 2 extra feet in difficult terrain, unless a creature has climbing or swimming speed.
Mhm.
So climbing up something we take twice as long if we're climbing something
Mhm.
as we would normally have movement speed.
I
At
think that's
GM's
like,
opinion,
in combat.
yes, but that's in combat, which means out of combat it should apply just as reasonably.
Yeah.
At the GM's option, climbing a slippery vertical surface or one with few handholds requires a successful strength check. So, gaining distance in, slippery, wet, damp rock work
Mm-hmm.
without any handholds, like a good rope to grab onto.
Indeed. Like, if you do slip and fall, you can just grab the rope. Like, you will have an opportunity to save yourself.
Yeah, well,
for
like,
sure.
It-
But
it's harder, but we
Speaking from experience as a person with average strength, I had to climb about 2 stories on a sheer rock wall, and somebody threw down a rope ladder. And that was a rope ladder. That wasn't a rope with knots in it
Oh yeah,
like this
the
is.
ladder's so hard.
And It sucked. Like, we
So you
made
don't
it up,
wanna use the
but
climbing
it was awful. So I was just like, you would imagine, you'd think like, oh, it's a rope ladder. You just climb it. It's fine. It's like, no, you swing all over the place, and your fucking feet, because of the way your body is, like, your feet immediately shoot out from underneath you. So when you're climbing it, like, your upper body is upright, but like from your chest down is swinging forward in a really like stupid manner. And that's why when a lot of people climb ladders that are hanging out of helicopters and stuff, they don't climb them facing the ladder. They climb them facing the ladder sideways.
Yep.
Because otherwise their body weight would cause the ladder to swing all over the place and go all fucky. In this particular case, with a rope, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a low DC, and it's also you're going to have advantage when rolling. So you'd have to, like, really boof it in order to not be able to make it up this rope, though climbing a knotted rope is still a small challenge.
Or have a -1 to the strength to the score.
What?
We could just make Alloy climb up it and then pull everyone else up one by one.
That's also true.
That'd be more of a strength check, because he'd have to be doing it, and if he slips at all, we drop.
Tying a person to a rope and then having a strong person pull that person up is...
It's saying that unless if it's extremely bad circumstances, it should be just slightly... It should be like half our movement speed climbing.
With no check.
With no check. And we have a rope, we have a solid surface we can brace against, we can grab onto the rope and plant our feet on the wall and not repel but repel up.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up the wall.
Well, in situations like this, I'm going to say there's always going to be a check. When you're climbing a rope, or if you're, like, jumping a gap or swinging across something, like, oftentimes I'm going to require a check for those sorts of things, because even if you have all the preparation in the world and you're taking your time, there's still a chance you could fail. And that's a part of playing the game. That's why I'm like, if it's a rope and you guys have knots in it, like, it's a low DC and you have advantage, because there's no specific rules surrounding it in the book. So that's the call that I want to go with.
Yep. GM rules. Let's go.
You know what? I'll even say I'll lower the DC to 5, because I am very out of shape, and I still managed to climb that rope ladder.
Oh, thank God.
And technically speaking, Doc, you and I would be like level 0 commoners, not level 5 adventurers.
Yeah, like a 10 in a stat is not good or bad. That is +0, and that means you are average in that thing.
I have an 8 in my strength.
That is a level 0 commoner. Pretty much has like 10 across the board. They have like nothing extraordinary or nothing really bad about them. But yeah, some people, like myself, have negatives in strength depending on what kind of shape they're in. So, but yeah, like I said, like I still managed to climb the rope ladder, and I was out of shape, and I managed to make it up the 2 stories. It was fine. So I'm willing to lower that to a 5 with advantage.
Now, start climbing, people.
Get out there, everybody.
Come on.
Alloy has no problem getting up there.
Alloy gets up that thing like it's fucking...
Are we rolling with advantage or without? Sorry.
With advantage.
With advantage. Okay, so we're rolling with advantage.
Caleb makes it, Drakier makes it, Talron makes it.
How did Drakier do better than Caleb?
Pickles.
Caleb is nimble, not strong.
Yeah, Caleb's tired. He fell off a roof recently. I don't know if you know.
I caught a guy. I was a landing pad for a guy who fell off a roof.
You're a little bit bruised. He's bruised and tired from climbing.
Yeah, he climbed up a good ways, exhausted himself a bit, and then slipped and fell 6 stories onto a
Caleb
person.
does not lift, he dodges.
And I lift even less than Caleb does. He's got a +1. I got a -1.
You have some energy in you still. So, successfully, everybody, you guys make it to the roof. Looking down from the rooftop across the city, you guys can see that the streets are now starting to not get necessarily packed, but are becoming busy with peasants roving about, carrying torches and shouting things between each other.
Can we hear what they're shouting?
A lot of them are shouting checks. So they're moving around, and some of them are yelling clear. Other ones are yelling like check over there, check that building, Like, what about the guys over on 5th? Did they run into anything? He's like, I don't know. I don't have any word. And they're like, okay, we'll send Joey to go run over and check. And he goes, okay. And then, Joey! And he's like, yeah. And then another guy takes off between the alleys and runs off in, towards the easterly side of the city. They sweepin'.
Caleb, anything
Oh. Cutie drew a picture of the booth.
previously?
Oh no, that was back when
Yeah.
Snek tried to use his flying the first time and got boofed by the ogres.
Right, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that.
The only other time I've used my flying all campaign.
Yep.
Yeah, you were just like, I have wings. It got
Have wings.
clubbed out of midair from it.
And the reason why Talrind only let Alloy come out of the box with him until he had to go ahead from the snack.
Yeah, because we were the only two who know I have wings. Everyone else is going, how the fuck did the cleric get up there?
I thought it was
I would-
Talrand and Caleb.
It was some mixture.
Yeah, it was Talon.
Wasn't me.
Caleb.
Whoops.
Yeah,
I would have
way.
remembered that and
Wasn't
wouldn't
me.
have brought Alloy then. Would have brought Caleb.
Let's...
At this point, Alloy is basically crawling, trying to keep a very low profile on the rooftops.
We found like a double set of dormer windows, and you're just standing in between them, looking like a menacing gargoyle.
So, as you guys are on the rooftop, you do notice to one side of you, because there is room enough for all of you guys to stand there on this particular roof, but not much more than you. It's semi-crowded, but to your left, you do see that there is sort of an open window into a dilapidated building.
Okay, I'll go take a look.
Wandering over and peeking in, it seems as though the wooden shutters are, like, one of them is slightly ajar. Poking your head over and leaning in to have a little look, it appears as though it's a room that someone could have been staying in at some point. It appears to be abandoned.
You see no thieves' cant around the area?
Right. Checking for thieves' cant around the...
Roll me
Area.
perception.
Much better.
20. Okay, so on the roof, there isn't any symbols up here, because why would there be? But you... Oh, Snack, yeah, you
That's where-
absolutely
that's where-
retrieved the rope.
That's where thieves would go.
It's in some circumstances, yes. But as you guys are up here, you're looking around. You don't see any thieves' cant on the roof per se. You think you might see something carved on the table inside the room.
All right, I'm just going to motion for everyone to just stay close, to just come close, but be careful. I'm going to first go to the table and check.
Is the window or door open?
The shutter was already open.
One of the shutters is slightly ajar. Yes.
Shouldn't Snek just go since Snek's still invisible?
Snack can't read, thieves can't.
Oh, I just meant Snek just meant like in the window.
Like,
Is Caleb still invisible?
investigate.
No, he's not.
No.
We had to release that to make Snack invisible.
I can make sure there's no one else around before we go in.
We still have the activated invisibility, and Caleb is good at sneaking. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Where in invisibility does it say it wears off if it's cast on someone? Oh yeah,
Concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's okay.
my enhanced invisibility is still active, so we're good. He'll be fine.
He'll be okay. All right, so Caleb, you go into the window.
Yeah, I go into the window and go
See,
over to the table and check the carving.
gingerly moving across the tiles of the roof, you open the window slightly. Graciously enough, it makes no noise being opened the rest of the way. Sort of sneaking into the room itself, it appears as though there's this wooden table with a single chair just kind of sitting there by the window. And As you get in, you see that there was at one point what may have been a large bed over against one side of the building, but it seems to be dilapidated and fallen apart with disuse. On the table itself, you do see the symbol that you were given with regards to Shaw, or more accurately, you see it on the underside of the table, because the symbol that is carved on the top of the table is the symbol for underneath. Gazing around at the underside of the table, you can see the symbol for Shaw is carved onto the bottom of it. There are some other things. The next symbol that is sort of made next to the symbol for Shaw is the symbol for church.
I fucking called it.
Oh.
Well, let's hope that werewolf wasn't Shaw.
Oh, fuck. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that would suck, right?
All right. Okay,
That's
so I'm just gonna motion for everyone else to get in, and it's just
Oh, good.
we have a
Just
complication.
slide along the roof to the window.
Yeah, does everybody come in?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. As everybody's getting in, Caleb's got a 20 in perception. Is anybody else keeping an eye out in specific?
Sounds, noises, anything that indicates, localized presences.
Nope.
And the general
Forgot to
crowd.
turn off
We'll
the.
take the 11. It's fine. 17. Anybody else? 19. Ally. Good.
I'll try. I'm not good at perceiving stuff, though. I'm
Me,
a little...
roll anyway.
You're better at perception than I am. You're at least proficient in it.
Yeah, I did that because I have nothing in wisdom. Oh shit, I'm still rolling with...
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just take the 18. Take the first one.
Oh.
So it's 18 and 7. So everybody except Drekir and Acolyte, Sneck, as you guys get in through the window. Is this the one?
Huh?
No. What about... Is it this one? Sorry.
Oh shit.
As you guys are crawling your way in through the window, some of you notice in the distance, leaping across the rooftops, are werewolves.
Oh, fuck.
They're moving swift. Their movement is also seemingly erratic, almost twisted and labored. You wouldn't recognize these as werewolves that move normally, but you do see the form of one of them land on the roof nearby to where you guys are, and then it leaps off onto another building and further on again. They're moving with almost with definitely superhuman speed and silence as they move across. They're, again, as they move and walk and look around, their head jerks and twists in each direction, their limbs jerking and twisting as they walk along. They appear twisted and wrong, even by werewolf standards.
Alloy's gonna close the shutters.
Just gonna close that. Silently, you close the shutters. And sight out into the street disappears.
Caleb, what was the complication again?
All right, well, Caleb's just going to lift the table slightly. And just
Actually, you know what?
points
I'm going to
to
leave it here. I'm going to leave it on this.
He's just going to point to the symbol for Shaw, and then he's going to point to the symbol next to it. Church. I have a suspicion that the werewolf that I saw impaled, there's a good chance that was Silver Shaw.
Do you still require this table?
What are you gonna do to the table,
Picks up
Alloy?
the table and puts it in front of the window,
Yep.
and then leans against the table.
You just brace the window with with the table, leans against it. That's smart. Despite the fact that the shutters open out, the table is large enough that it actually covers the window itself, so it doesn't push the shutters out when you place it against the window's frame and then lean against it. It fully covers that space for you.
That's actually pretty smart.
It's not necessarily the werewolf you saw with Shaw. It's just churches make good grandstanding locations for this kind of thing.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Once this dies down, we'll try to investigate the church. The Shaws like their underground access. Did you see access to underground areas in the church?
No,
Then
I
it's
was
a
too
good chance
fixated.
then it's a good chance that the werewolf is not the Shaw.
I damn well hope not. Otherwise, we're dead in the water.
Honestly, I feel fairly if the fact that there isn't a whole horde of them going through the church right now almost certainly means that they don't have the Shaw. Because if they found access to the under passageways that the Shaws like, they would be pouring dozens of guys into those tunnels. They wouldn't be roaming the streets like this. You wouldn't have been able to get into the building, especially if they just killed the werewolf there.
That's a fair point. All right.
Talrant knows how these guys work.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that on one case, you do know that these guys like using underground facilities. All the facilities that you've met with the Shaws thus far have been subterranean. Though, in this particular instance, it's hard to tell as to whether or not this Shaw would choose a similar ground.
He's actually talking about the hunters, not the Shaw.
The hunters themselves, also, you can see, are just using a lot of the streets, yeah.
That if the hunters found something as suspicious as an information network headquarters,
Yeah.
or hangout place, they wouldn't leave it abandoned moments after, killing a werewolf in it. They'd be tearing it apart for hours on end.
Yeah.
Question is, how do we get into the church unnoticed?
We wait until this dies down.
Go somewhere they've already checked off as searched and hide there, and wait.
I feel like we're relatively safe here.
That works too. Just stay here then.
Well, is the church right across the alleyway from where we are?
Yeah, it's across the street.
We could just go to the church. See if we can find the hiding spots.
Yes. After this dies down, this building is likely searched and or relatively safe already. Because it's essentially ground zero for the werewolf over there. If you find a werewolf, you start searching out from there rather than ignoring the stuff right next to the werewolf and hunting down other things. Right? Everyone following on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we wait here unless it looks like they're going to come here. If it looks like they're going to come here, then we leave. Otherwise, we wait here until everything quiets down, and then we go.
Yes.
That is the plan?
Yes.
Yep.
And in the bell tower of the church, you find a misshapen halfling named Quasi Frodo. Thank you, Mercenary Pen. That's quite funny.
No.
No.
Now we find him thrown on top of the
You have a ring.
fire inside the church.
Well, of course he has a ring. He's a giant bell.
Damn it, I'm not gonna send me a freaking funny over Discord. I'm dead.
So, what's the plan?
We wait and rest.
How long do you guys wait? Oop, hydrate. Got it.
We try to keep an ear out for the sound of the crowds trolling the streets. It was like 3 a.m. ish. No, it was about 4 a.m.
So
Assuming.
after about an hour, I'd say about an hour of waiting. After about an hour, like throughout the time, if you guys are listening, I'm just gonna let you guys carry your perception checks that you guys were using. Pretty much everybody except for Sneck and Drek here, you guys can still hear them patrolling the streets. And as they are moving through the streets, there's still like yellings of checks and everything else. Every now and then, though, in the distance, you hear the commotion and screams of combat.
I don't think we're going anywhere, Doc, unless it
Yeah.
looks like we're gonna get caught where we are.
So like 10 minutes.
Or this
10
goes
minutes after we
down.
started waiting, the spell wore off. Did the bells toll? 4 o'clock.
The bells have not tolled.
Suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps those of you who require rest should do that now. Aaron and I will watch over, keep an eye out.
And is one of those that wants to rest.
Rest would be a full 8 hours. It's like we're not getting that.
You might get 4. If anyone, Talrand should be resting right now.
I mean, we technically could have just fallen for a short rest, so anyone who had short rest abilities, we get those recharged. Actually, I think I might. I think I'm going to burn a hit die, considering I just got crushed.
That's fair.
So we're going for a rest. Talrand would like to attempt for a long rest for him, but it's a 4-hour rest, and it's not like he's unaware during the time frame. So.
Oh, sweet! They got me back to full.
5 HP.
If you guys are okay with Talrand being less aware while we wait until
A long rest is 8 hours. If I don't think we're staying here for 8 hours.
4 hours.
Talrand's a long rest is 4 hours. Yeah.
The 3 times I said it.
Oh, sorry.
So a 4-hour rest for Talrand will get back his tier 2 spell slots, which will allow us to be stealthy again. Which we can't be currently because Talrand is out of those.
Good plan.
Soon.
That plan.
Are we good? Are we good with this plan?
Don't
Any
yell at me.
complaints?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We go nowhere until we have reason to go somewhere.
Oh, and Caleb.
Alloy is just firmly planted at the window.
Caleb, since you and me qualify for a short rest, don't you want to burn a hit die to get some of that HP you lost in the fall?
Yeah, might as well.
Every now and then, Alloy, outside that window, you hear the clatter of claws across the tiles of the roof. They don't come to the window, but every now and then you hear one of them land on the roof outside and then leap off to somewhere else. Critical heal.
Caleb sneezes in the bone. He had like a bit of a snapped bone. I was like, oh, that's fixed now.
Of all the time I've ever played 5th Ed, this is actually the very first time I've ever burned a hit die.
The hit die system may not be designed very well.
Now, as you guys are resting, you do a 4 hours worth of rest?
The plan was to wait until we saw a break or dispersal of the forces in the streets. We want to stay. We want to try to move during the night because that's what we do best in. But we also don't want to move while they're out hunting. So
True.
If there was a time period that was less than 4 hours away, we were like, wake up, Talrand before that. But
as the 4 hours fully pass, you guys can still hear the sounds of them moving. There's an ebb and flow to it. Sometimes it gets quieter as the mobs are further away from where you guys are. Sometimes it's a bit louder. as they're a bit closer to you. Again, sometimes you do hear in the distant the sounds of screeching combat, peasants screaming, and the sounds of werewolves snarling as they tear into them.
Has the sun risen?
As the 4 hours pass, the sun does not rise, and the bells do not toll.
To the Twilight Zone. Always twilight here, and it sucks.
Ugh, my money on the curse was right.
That sounds like it. It sounds like it might be eternally night here, which is not great.
Not good.
Alloy
said,
is
though.
gonna stand up and it's gonna kind of shift the table so he can peek through the window.
Mm-hmm.
And just what can we see from our window? Like, can we see the church at all?
You can see a few of the rooftops. You'd have to open the shutter and peek your head out in order to see the top of the church across the street.
Does it sound like anything is on the rooftop?
Not right now.
Then move it a bit more so you can open up the shutter a bit.
As you creak the window open, once again, like graciously, it doesn't seem to make any sound as you open it just a touch. Peeking out, you don't see anything out there. Oh, last piece of candy. Yes.
Do it.
Candy, candy, candy.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Oh Henry. Oh.
Oh.
That's right.
Do a stretch. Do a stretch.
And you also need to drink water.
God damn it. Well, I did that already.
People make me do stuff.
Posture check.
Yeah, I'm sitting up. I got it.
Okay.
Stop harping on me. I'm doing this still.
What I give her
Actually-
a roof right now?
Does the sky look different at all?
Leaning out, it's the same full moon.
Like, doesn't look like there's any signs of the early morning sunrise. It's still like pitch dark out.
Sadly, no.
Takes us to all of the nicest locations, don't they? Talrand, now that he has his stealth spell back, wants to kind of sneak out and try to get a good look around.
Out the window or out the door?
Out the window.
Okay. Roll me some stealth. Stealth.
Did you recast Pass Without a Trace?
Dope. All right, so
Yes.
18. Oh, you did recast it?
Yeah.
Dope. 28. Silent as the fucking grave itself. You squeeze yourself out the window back onto the cold, wet tiles of the rooftop of this building.
Is it considered dark where I am?
Very.
Very convenient, because that means I'm invisible to anything that uses dark vision or low light vision.
Yes, you are. So you're on the rooftop. What are you looking for?
Positions of people, things moving. Clearly, we want to try to get to the church.
Again, the ebb and flow of the peasants down in the street appear to sort of like wax and wane. So sometimes there'll be a few more looking around through that area, and sometimes there'll be a few less, or even none at all for a few minutes. And it sort of like comes and goes in waves. Sometimes they're moving one direction. Sometimes that group will come back around and go the other way as well as they move about. So yeah, there are openings, but they just sort of come and go.
Do I see any of the werewolves moving across the rooftops?
You do see them in the distance on occasion. Actually, roll me perception.
I see nothing.
You do. You see them, but they're in the distance. Hard to make them out. They're just these, like, shadows basically leaping from rooftop to rooftop across.
Maybe we should stretch a rope from rooftop to rooftop and use that to climb across above the mob.
That seems like a poor plan. Because that would be an athletics check, a thing that a bunch of us are not good at.
And if you fail, you fall into the middle of the street.
Whereas if we go down, go down and try to sneak across through an empty spot in the mob, we have a base 10 plus our abilities.
I could just see Talron being like, Drek here, I respect you, but that's a bad idea. Like, that's it.
Interesting idea. I do not see it being feasible.
I don't think it's good. I don't think we're gonna make that. Oh, there we go.
Next level, grabbing the goddamn fly spell.
Yes. Anyways, so Talron goes back inside.
Okay.
Suggests that we should try to move to the church because things aren't changing outside. Concerningly, not changing outside. Is there anything beyond the door? Can we see this? Can we investigate this?
Yeah, the door doesn't appear to have a lock. And moving to it. Whoa, shit! We got ourselves a raid from I Am Larson. It's raided us with 5 people. Hello. God, that gave me a scare. Fuck. It's a very tense moment. And I'm the DM. Fucking jeez. Moving to the doorway. Moving to the doorway inside. It doesn't appear to be locked in any way. And opening it and peeking out, you see that it's just some stairs that go down. You hear some voices of some people that appear to be inside the building. And you see some light further down.
Yeah, so not that way. So, folks, that way is inhabited. Back out to the alleyway, down and across the path stealthily. Any better ideas?
Unfortunately, no. I don't think we have any good ideas.
All right. Do you guys head back out onto the roof and climb down the rope again?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Going down rope is fucking easy. I'm just going to say you do it. I don't want to make everybody roll for it.
Yeah,
You just slide down rope with knots in it. It's like the easiest fucking thing.
Gonna jump down and tank the damage.
No.
That's a lot of damage.
That's 8d6, my man. Like you're.
Not to mention the noise it would create to have a giant fucking robot crash into the ground at 80 feet up.
So you guys get out onto the roof. Let's see.
I'm still alive, bitch.
Not
Oh my
when the
God.
mob finds you.
Wow.
God, Alloy jumps down.
No, I'm not actually. I'm
We're
just.
going back in the building. Everyone, Alloy has clearly decided he wants to commit suicide.
Yeah. Well, closes the shutters.
Room, pick the room.
I just wanted to see if that would actually kill me.
Talron, high or low?
Low?
Dope. Okay, so you guys get out onto the rooftop, and no werewolves land on you. You get back out onto the rooftop using the grappling hook. You situate it again in some of the Gothic architecture, and then slide your way back down into the alleyway. Using Talrin's spell, you guys are able to move quietly. As long as you maintain a relative distance to him, you guys are able to move quietly back down into the alley, and then, I'm assuming, to the mouth of the alley, looking out into the street where the peasants are. Any objections?
Okay. Now we just need to sneak across here with the proper timing.
Yeah. Sitting in the alleyway, from your observations on the roof, it takes maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes before there's an opening.
Now it's Gothic Bloodborne Frogger.
Yep.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so after about 10-15 minutes, there's a break in the mobs of peasants that are moving through the street, and you think you have an opening to cross. Do you guys take it?
Yes.
Yeah. Probably
Dope.
good at.
Moving across the street, you guys go into the cathedral, and you are treated to the same thing that Caleb saw earlier. You guys see the multiply impaled, smoldering remains of what is a werewolf. Talrin, on closer inspection, can tell that while this is a werewolf, indeed, there's something wrong with it. Its form is ragged, haggard, it's twisted. It's like the difference between seeing a dog and a dog that has like severe mange and is like rabid and crazy. Like, it is a werewolf for sure, but it's really fucked up.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not good.
Damn it, I have the rabies vaccine. Pickles does not.
This is be some shit.
Sudden remembrance.
Mhm.
That's something that might have not ever gotten dealt with. Quad.
Yeah?
In the carriage you searched outside of town, did you tell the rest of us about that little chest that you found?
Oopsie daisy.
Well, that's suspicious. Everyone, let's keep searching the room expeditiously before whatever causes that to happen.
Wow.
I'm very sorry about that. That's my bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I fucked that up. I apologize. That's my
It's
bad.
okay. I think we can kind of guess it was going to go that way eventually.
That's fine.
I don't think Alloy would have really pointed that out because to him it was just like, oh, it's a box.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
There was
the
nothing.
the chest you found?
Yeah. Like, as far as Alloy was concerned, it just contained someone's underpants.
Well, it was an ornate box inside of a carriage, and you were looking for clues. Why would he not have tried to open it?
Would you have
Who's-
tried to open
where
it?
people currently are.
Sorry, what was that, Alloy?
Did you try to open it, or did you leave it? Or
Uh,
just take it with you?
probably would have left it.
Okay, that's
You-
fine.
you-
Hey, he left it.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not
Yeah.
like out of game. It's not important. Don't worry about it. Like,
Okay.
he did not
might
lose a very vital clue, and fuck you guys.
it was a sudden thought of what happens if there is, information in there like, man, dispatches, and I was like, maybe he grabbed it and brought it with him.
I promise you, I'm not gonna fuck you like that. Like that would be like
This
just
isn't This isn't a point-and-click Sierra game.
Yeah, like this, I would not fuck you over. Yeah, this is not a point-and-click Sierra game. If it was an important object in the chest, I would have maybe described the chest a little more and made some more things like, it's kinda heavy. You hear some rattling when you move it around and stuff to, like, create some intrigue. There was just money in it. That's all. Like, this,
Or
like,
if we just if we completely ignored it, just find somewhere else to put that same information.
Hey,
10 million points for Gryffindor were in that chest. You fucked it.
why did Copper Shaw show up all of a sudden?
They can-
But it was just the sudden thought of, I feel like we've been really grasping for information. I was like, did that have the information in it?
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
Turns out Quad was the imposter. Call an emergency meeting
Quad gets tossed on the
from
fire.
Mercenary Pen.
Thrown in the fire. The fucking Warforged standing there in the fire, unimpressed. Quad was not the imposter.
So we look around we search around the room for things.
All right, everybody, roll me some perception.
I rolled it.
Yeah, Drakir got his 11. Esteban is 22. Good.
To be
Alloy
fair,
with
I
a
was about
20.
to say I may not be able to read it, but I was going to look for Thieves' Cant.
Told you don't usually go back.
Caleb with a 15. Good.
Now, hold on a sec.
Yes.
Would Drakiar know Thieves' Cant if,
It
like,
bit him
would
in
he
the
be
ass.
around to
No.
identify it?
You'd know the Thieves' Cant for Silver Shaw.
The symbol for Silver Shaw specifically is a symbol that I'm willing to say that other members of the party with a little bit of study would be able to understand.
We're specifically taught it back at Mithril Shaw.
Yeah, Mithril Shaw did show it to you guys and sort of explain like a very brief, nuanced version of Thieves' Cant so that you could understand this one symbol. It's not ever really explained exactly how Thieves' Cant works. It's not like one symbol translates to exactly one other word, but there's like a lot of subtlety and nuance involved in it. Like if you see this particular carving on a place, it means this. If you see a left-handed glove on top of an urn facing the east kind of thing, like it could mean this other thing. Like it's a lot of stuff that unless you're very specifically trained in all of the subtlety of it, you wouldn't pick it up. That somebody wouldn't be able to teach this to you even in like a couple of days. Like it would take weeks, perhaps even months to learn the language in full. So it's like teaching somebody sign language even. It's like there isn't a one-to-one comparison. Sometimes it's a sign, sometimes it's a one sign mixed with another one. Sometimes you have to do each letter individually, and even then something like sign language would be simpler than Thieves' Cant. Thieves' Cant by its design is obfuscatious. It's strange and hard to figure out.
It's impossible to figure out unless you take a single level in Rogue, and then you understand it perfectly.
And then you get it, yeah. That's you have to at least be a rogue.
I feel like I want to be more stealthy. Oh, hey, I understand Thieves' Cant now.
Yeah, well, and you wouldn't be more stealthy because oh my god, I love this series setting. How they've done the skills is the dumbest thing.
Right. Fuck how they cover skills.
Multi-classing does not get you proficiency in new skills. You cannot get proficiency in new skills ever.
Yeah.
In 5th edition.
Unless you
Which is
take a
fucking
feat.
stupid.
Yeah, feats can sometimes give you proficiency and stuff, but that's, you have to spend a feat on it, which is a lot more sparse in 5th ed than it was in previous iterations. This being said, Thieves' Cant very specifically is a spoken code. It's like, the swallow flies south on Tuesday kind of thing. But I have decided that there is also sort of a symbolic version of that in this particular universe, that there is a series of carved symbols as well as other physical imagery that can be used to portray certain things. It's kind of like 2 candles if by sea and shit, like stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because Thieves' Cant can be like, they can say the exact same thing the exact same way, but whether they have 3 fingers on their hand extended or 2 makes it mean something completely different.
Yeah.
And this is why Thieves' Cant isn't just I memorize this one thing and I know it.
Yeah.
It's contextual.
Remember that scene from Ocean's 11?
The one I linked.
What?
Yes.
in the Thieves' Cant description, in addition, you understand a set of secret signs and symbols used to convey short and simple messages, such as whether an area is dangerous or the territory of a thieves' guild, whether loot is nearby, or whether the people in an area are easy marks or will provide a safe house for thieves on the run.
Weird. Okay, because I'm reading it and it just says it's a verbal thing. So I guess it's somewhere else.
This is on the rogues page.
Yeah. That's bizarre. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's wikis for you.
This is off Roll20.
Yeah.
So.
That's wikis for you.
But yeah. So, with our perceptions, do we find the things?
Let's see. All right, looking down. So specifically, Caleb, with Thieves' Cant, you do find the symbol for Shaw, again, over top of a stone that is off to one side that appears to be near an archway, except the archway is bricked up. The rest of you guys looking around the room, you see that there's like sort of a mixture, a mishmash of different garbages and other odds and ends that seem to have been thrown in here. This place was in a state of disrepair. It seems by some of the loose old scaffolding that's in here that some money was put in getting this place restored, but that didn't happen. So
the red skeleton hanging from the ceiling would imply that things have not gone great.
Things seem to have taken a turn for the worse. Yeah, there's a person, like a body in a cage hanging from the ceiling. There's a few more cages lying empty around the room. Some of the candelabras and whatnot have been turned over and knocked about. There are burial urns that appear to just be left out in the open as they haven't been moved to a crypt or given any last rites. So there's just a lot of like mishmash and stuff around the area, but Caleb, you do see the symbol on a rock, like on one of the stones in the wall.
Okay, looking at the rock, do I see anything suspicious with it?
The particular brick that it's carved into appears to be protruding from the wall by about an inch.
Alright, just going to gently push on the brick with the marking.
Okay. So pressing upon the brick, it shifts into the wall, that sort of inch that it was sticking out. You press on it and it shifts. You hear sort of in the walls, there's a clicking and grinding of stone wheels, and the stone wall that is in that archway just off to the one side pushes back into the wall and slides to one side, revealing a passageway that goes down.
Did it actually make a lot of grinding noises, and we need to fire these thieves for having the worst entrance to their secret area that's not well oiled and greased for...
It wasn't terribly loud, but it was quiet enough. The problem isn't necessarily in the noise that it makes. The problem is the second that the stone thing slides to one side, you look down into the catacombs below, and wouldn't you know, there's like 3 werewolves right there.
Press the stone again, press the stone again, press the stone again.
Are they looking at us?
You like literally just start like slapping the stone on the wall, which clicks again, and the wall slowly starts to grind shut, and clicks as it shuts into position, sort of covering that door, like closing the secret stone wall there once again. Though from behind, inside the catacombs, though, you hear this screeching, awful yelling noise that could sort of be a werewolf if a werewolf was also sort of kind of still a person yelling and screaming and wailing. It is a horrifying, wretched sound that they make that echoes throughout the building. There you go. Kind of like that, yeah. No sooner do you hear that noise, do you hear it echo from some of the nearby rooftops outside, and the sounds of fighting is immediately erupting in the street outside your building.
We are so dead. We are very, very
man.
good.
You hear people screaming and swinging weapons and monsters shrieking and people being torn to bits. And then one of the windows far above you in the cathedral shatters, and some of these werewolves start crawling in, almost like spiders crawling down the columns into the rooms on top of you.
Drop my rapier.
Okay. Talrand, any chance?
And now we're here.
Careful about playing music. Careful about playing music.
It's video game music.
Okay.
It's still not coming through entirely. Ignore the big pools of blood that are in here. Those aren't there.
I thought nice red carpets.
I was just playing music from Castlevania.
Pay attention to the big red carpets. Over on the side, I'm going to say right here is where the door was. So I'll make like a thing. Oh, hey, where's my color? There we go.
Okay, I gotta ask, are we all scattered around the room because Caleb just immediately pressed the button without drawing our attention to it?
It's assumedly so, yes. Place yourselves loosely around the room, please.
Wait, where was that stone? Did it
There's
say
like a
about...
door, I'm going to
It's
say.
It's the bigger.
Where was the opening?
Caleb, it's
I marked it.
Blue marking.
Right.
Right side.
The blue marking on the right side there, that's where the secret door was. And down at the bottom, I've marked where one of the large wooden doors is still sort of ajar.
I did the thing again where I'm a square, and I don't know why.
Whoops. Oh, you just dragged the wrong picture, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I try to drag it from... Okay, do I have to hold the button down again? Sorry, I keep forgetting
No,
this.
here, I'll delete that one for you.
Okay,
All you got to
do I have
do
to hold
is
something?
go to your character sheet.
And
I'm in my
drag from the word, not the picture.
Oh, I can't.
So not from your character sheet, just like where they're all listed on the right side underneath the journals tab. You just
Oh, got it.
grab the... There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
I
it.
just always think when you say go to your character sheet, I go to my actual character sheet every time.
Yes. That's my bad. I apologize.
And then when I tried to grab my name, it just kept moving the window, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
All right. And that'll be HP, and that'll be AC. Dope.
Do you like being the... Which ones do you like for HP and AC?
The
HP.
green one's HP. AC is the blue one.
Okay.
HP, check.
Here.
AC, check. Done. All right.
I usually put my spell DC in
Yeah.
the red one, because
Acolyte, snack. HP, check. AC, check. Save changes. And this guy's Caleb. That's your HP, and that's your AC. Bork! And here's Piffles.
Oh.
Here's HP.
I put mine in.
Ding. There you go. And this is
Doing
Talon.
play music through their Discord.
I think it's Rainer.
Yeah, Rainer's still playing music.
Sorry to turn that down. I'm not that configured.
Nah, it still comes through. It's fine.
It comes through.
So yeah, you can see there's at the top there is a that wolf that's been impaled multiple times on that thing, and here you guys are inside the church, and we've just hit our 3-hour mark. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it there. But this gives me lots of stuff to work with for next Wednesday. All I pretty much have to do is catch up on prepping some of our stuff, and we should be in good shape.
Next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday. Thursday, rather. Sorry. I'm very tired. Next Thursday, we're going to be getting back into this with the continued intrigue of the town of Alderth. Dun, dun, dun. So I was like, we can get into this and go for like another hour, but I know that people have to sleep.
And it's a 3-hour mark.
And it's the 3-hour mark. We should be wrapping at that juncture.
Good
So
place to stop anyway.
yeah. There's a good spot.
Eee.
He's exciting. So thank you everybody for coming out. We're gonna do the raffle in a little bit. We got some cool games like Agony and Surgeon Simulator, plus the anniversary edition content coming up on our raffle in just a few hot minutes. If you guys want to start buying up those tickets, assuming I remembered to actually activate the thing, which it's anyone's fucking guess if I did. Probably not. Oh, Jesus Christ, I was so burnt trying to get this ready. There we go. It started. Yay. Now you can buy tickets.
Oh.
Feel free to buy tickets now.
You weren't free to buy them beforehand.
Only now can you buy tickets to the raffle.
You weren't free to buy
Wah, wah.
Does
There
that
we
mean
go.
people haven't been getting their
No, if you
They're
try to buy them while it's when it's not active, it just doesn't do anything.
no,
They
but do you
still
have
get the points.
their megawatts if they still get their points? Okay.
Yep.
That was what I was
You still get megawatts for watching and for donating and stuff, even if the raffle's not active.
cool, yeah. That's what I was. Yeah. Nah.
And we'll get into that. So first and foremost, let's talk about Agony. Agony is a first-person survival horror set in hell. You will begin your journey as a tormented soul within the depths of hell without any memories about your past. The special ability to control people in your path and possess demons gives you the measures to survive. So we got some spooky games coming out for Spooky Month.
Also got to hydrate and stretch.
God damn. Damn, son. This game looks really fucking good. I actually think I remember seeing ads for this. Yeah, gross.
Friendly stuff.
Friendly staff.
Recreational activities.
I'm trying to decide, like, the timing there. No, there's the sexy girl kind of gyrating in front of you, and Doc's like, oh, this looks really, really good. And then there's the demon with the giant dick. Ah, gross.
Ah, gross. Oh yeah. There's some titties every now and then.
Oh God, why?
Ugh.
Go swimming.
Go swimming. Go possessing. Kill some people.
Get to
Psychically
know
drop
your
people
fellow,
in the fire.
Your fellow vacationers. Up close and personal. Get into their heads. Make sure you can understand them perfectly.
Spacious. Lots of room to go for a walk.
Don't forget finger painting with some truly neat materials.
Okay, an orgy.
Yeah, I'm sure this may be a great game. It is not one for me.
No, thank you. This is.
Whoops!
Very,
Kick
very
the baby into a monster. Oh goodness.
Oh, please. Oh, fuck.
Your children are
That was
taken care of by our highly qualified staff. Don't worry.
Yeah, scrubbing the floor with a baby.
Highly
God,
qualified staff.
Why? That's not what babies are for. They're for jerky.
Just no.
It's a spooky game.
I don't like this. I
So
don't
that,
like
ladies
this.
and gentlemen, that's
It's
Agony.
even a little. Watching the trailer was agony. They named it aptly.
Yeah, so this is a spooky game. This was released by Madmind Studio and was given to us by Calendros.
What the fuck is wrong with that developer?
Lord,
Thank you so much, Lord Calendros. We wanted spooky games for the raffle, and Calendros delivered. This is a scary-looking fucking game. I absolutely could not stream this, though, because while it's not about nudity, I think there's enough of it that it might become a problem. Yeah,
Awkward
Cutie's
Gary.
casually eating pizza.
much
Get on
shit.
in here, Cutie. Get your hands on some of this.
It's very El Caliente.
Get your hands on some of these horror titties.
Yeah, get your hands on some of these horror titties. Scrub the floor with that baby. You know, have a good time.
Enjoy a nice
Take a swim.
vacation
Go
in
for a
hell.
watch. Get stabbed. It's good. And our second game, of course, is a classic Surgeon Simulator.
With anniversary edition content.
Yep.
Nice. Papa, don't die.
Cutie pie.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
There it
this
is.
looks so
Comedy Gold. Guardian. This is a game where you have to clumsily control. You have to clumsily control this hand with like your controls on your keyboard. So like moving the hand around and doing all of your stuff is very hard. And yeah, there was a Team Fortress fucking level that they put in it.
Fantastic. This game just reminds me of the time I was working in a vet clinic and a veterinarian accidentally sewed his surgical gown to the patient.
Actually, I've seen somebody do the.
Patient is beyond saving after you remove their brain.
Yeah, pretty much.
the TF2 one.
Yeah.
Brain won't come out in one piece like that. You have to be really careful taking out brains. Then you have to you have to put them in formaldehyde for over a week so they firm up. Otherwise, it's just Jello.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You can't hold it like that; it would fall apart.
Now, forever ago, I played this game on our old Blast Processing channel. It was one of the first games I ever did recordings of and Let's Plays on that channel. I think it might have actually been the first game. Yeah. Look how far you've become. I don't know about that, man.
But like the TF2 one, if you've ever seen the Meet the Medic thing.
Oh yeah.
If you're supposed to be attaching the Uber charge thing to the Heavy's heart.
Yes. Yeah, as you can see in that picture there, you put the fucking, you do the thing that's from the thing. You take the what is it, the mega baboon heart, and you put the Uber thing on it, and then you stick it inside them.
Well, if you put it on the regular, I think it's actually part of the surgery. You have to put it on his regular heart first.
Yeah.
And it explodes the heart. And you're like, oh, I should do something about that.
Because that's what they do in the little short movie that they did, the Meet the Medic video. Is he just like takes a heart, sticks it on the machine, and then it explodes. And he's like, "What was that sound?" And he's like, "Progress." And he like continues digging around, takes the mega baboon heart, sticks it on, jams it in.
I can only imagine.
Something tells me you'd get along well with the TF2 medic.
Well, Doc gets along well with Warden, and so that, I mean, that sounds a lot like what Warden does.
And then I lost my medical license. Ah!
No, that's the story of how I lost my medical license.
I like the meme that came out of that is the Heavy's like worried laughter. Is the audio desynced again? Fucking.
It's the end of the
stream. There we go. There, that should fix it. Hold on, let me push some buttons. Chazah! Yeah, it appears as though I became, like, desynced a little bit. Didn't really matter for the stream because my face wasn't visible, so you were just getting, like, a little bit off. Thank you, Tonberry. Swift as always. But yeah, it's if I open up the properties for my desktop audio capture, use device timestamps is oftentimes the system will automatically enable that, which causes lag. It causes the desyncing, which is fucking stupid.
Thanks, system. Quality progress here.
They're like, no, it helps stop desyncing. And I'm like, no, it causes desyncing. And Streamlabs is like, nah, it doesn't. You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I just all of a sudden pictured the Emperor. No.
You know what I find hilarious about TF2 is that the Heavy, the big guy, the person you would expect to be the big dumb one, is actually the smartest member of the entire mercenary team.
Oh yeah, somebody like it was part of the lore that he's actually like a genius in some regard.
He has a degree in Russian literature, which is more than the rest of
culture does not intelligence.
Yeah,
he's got a higher education, which says a lot more than the rest of the mercs on the team, except maybe the spy.
Okay, there are a lot of people who have degrees in culture and are some of the dumbest motherfuckers I have ever met.
That is fair.
I've actually read the comic and seen the videos. The Heavy isn't stupid. I'll just say that.
I can't wait for after the stream where I get to do the cat litter and then get to do the garbage and get the recycling sorted. Oh my god, Tom Berry. Tom Berry, you work too hard. And there's another one. Jesus. We're getting a bunch in.
Third one tonight.
Yeah, well, it happens. We get bots every now and then.
Heavy bot? Apparently.
All right, so let's have ourselves a look. Cutie's in with 1 ticket. I'm going to give you guys another couple minutes. I'll give you 6 minutes.
I get both the searching game.
I
if y'all
think
wanna get in
Agony
on
is
it.
kind of scaring a few people off.
Not Cutie, though.
She wants the surging game. Just give her the. If nobody else does it, just give her the surging game.
No, if she's the only person that gets it, she gets both games.
I seem to have distinct memories of
Circuit
Cutie saying
Dread.
she'd like to be resigned to an island of just boobs at some point.
Hey, I would go to that island. I would live in that island. Is that an island? I want to go there. Give me a ticket.
I mean, Cutie is also the artist
Doesn't that
will-
island exist? Isn't that the island of Lesbos?
Oh, I hope
Cu-
so.
Cutie's one of the
Lesbos.
Cutie's one of the only 2 artists in the community that will draw lewds, and she enjoys doing it.
Yeah, well.
I know way too many friends of mine who enjoy drawing.
You know what's funny? So here, let me
Cutie
get in
just
close.
said true.
So
people enjoy
I'm gonna give you guys
drawing.
like 5 minutes. If anybody else wants to jump in on this and challenge Cutie for these games, the games of Hell Titties and Surgeon Simulator.
Okay, for a minute there,
So-
I thought you were talking about jumping in on the
Quick story.
trip to Boob Island.
God,
Sorry,
I wish.
I am quick to jump onto boobs. Yes.
Yeah. So quick story. Way back when I was a kid, my brother and I, obviously living in the middle of nowhere country land, were hanging out, minding our own business, and going about stuff. My brother realized that he actually wasn't a terrible artist, that he could draw some pretty good stuff. That he was like really good at like drawing people and drawing like spaceships and other kinds of stuff, and it was like nice. And so he was like, "Oh yeah," sat down and started drawing his own, basically like a porn comic, like hentai. He was just like, I'm just gonna do this, do, because he's a teenage guy. So he just goes through it, but the second he gets to like the end of the first page and gets it all inked and everything like that, he's just looking at it and he's like, why isn't this hot? I don't understand. And I was like, I don't know, you drew a bunch of sexy stuff. Is it not doing it for you? And he's like, no. Is it because I drew it? And I was like, I think it is. And he's like, shit!
Well, it's because you spent so much time focusing on it. And
Yeah, like
when you
all
don't
the little
take that,
details,
it's
you can't
no longer
derive any actual enjoyment from it anymore. He's like, this sucks!
an actual thing.
I'm sorry, I just got to check for a second, Doc. Didn't you grow up in the same place I'm living?
Fergus?
Now I'm living in Guelph.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's near Guelph. If you go to Guelph and then go to Fergus and then drive
And
for
then
like
just keep
another
going.
half an hour to an hour into nowhere, then you would find the counties in which I used to live.
Yep.
Okay.
As the American in the room, I have no idea about any of the locations you're talking about.
That's okay because it's meaningless to literally everyone, including Esteban. Like none of these places mean anything.
I beg to
where
differ, good sir. I have family that lives out that way.
Well, no,
I
and I'm
used to live
saying
in
that, I'm not saying there's
Aurora.
anything against any of those people. I'm just saying that it's such a nothing location that knowing where any of them is a meaningless thing. Like it doesn't help you at all to know where any of it
no,
exists.
it's-
Doc, I am
fuck,
living.
it's-
I was gonna say I am living in the same area right now. So.
Here you go.
Me and Palantir both know what rural Ontario is like, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
Oh, I know.
it's
I
out.
know.
We used to
just
live out in Mennonite
disconnected and
country.
reconnected to my computer.
What?
what?
I just got the sound that a USB was unplugged, followed by the sound that the USB was plugged back in.
Weird.
Do you have a controller plugged
It
in?
happens.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I do,
if
but
you-
if that came unplugged, I would have lost my headset.
If you go to Guelph and then go northeast into the void,
I know
you'll hit it if you don't blink.
mouse or keyboard or anything like that plugged in via USB.
But yeah, it was.
I mean, they
like,
both are, but I didn't lose those.
way out in Mennonite country. It was a fucking nightmare out there.
Flickers.
Mennonite. Oh dear, you poor bastard.
Yeah, and we lived on a
yeah.
research facility in Mennonite country. You can imagine how pleased they were about that.
Yep.
Ah.
Yep. Did they make you a wooden centrifuge?
No, they would just come by on their bikes, yell at us in old German, and throw rocks at us when we were waiting for the bus.
Yeah, because you guys were like crafting up some fucking fish wishcraft over there.
Well, yeah, it was a research facility, and it's a culture of people that specifically hates technology, thinks technology is the devil. So they would come by and be like, cool, so this is the hellmouth that's in the middle of our community, and we hate all you people who live here. Now, there were other Mennonites who were like different Mennonites in a sense that they were like allowed to have certain amounts of technology. Like Mennonites are like varying degrees of Amish people. Like it's not just, beards and suspenders all the way down. There's like millions of subtle degrees of giving up technology.
Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Do you know what determines how much technology they're allowed to have? Would you like to know the big thing? And it varies so much.
What?
The priest of the church that they're going to. That is literally the only defining thing within their religious works that limits how much technology they're allowed to have.
Is it the priest says it's okay by having some?
I worked at a Mennonite factory.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that. Like way back.
And
I remember you used to tell stories about that.
My uncle, not Mennonite, thank God.
Mennonite.
Was like, yeah, no, the guy in charge, devout Mennonite. Also changed like 3 different parishes so he could find one that allowed him to have a cell phone.
Oh,
Jesus.
God damn it. People fucking suck, man.
And he's like,
95% people from Hamilton are Barney Gumble.
And he's like, it's my uncle was fairly fairly aware, but tends towards a bit conservative, even if he's fairly aware of things. In his defense, the conservative MP out there is actually a really good guy and does his best for the community. But in general, he's like, God, it was so dumb all the time. They'd be like, oh man, I don't like this technology, and then another one would be like, well, we're allowed to have that technology. You have a different priest though, and it's just like,
oh, Rakdai has redeemed a Guide the Ray to Sword Bro stream.
Sword Bro? Hello, Rakdai.
Okay.
When you said a Mennonite factory, I was imagining like a production line of like people on belts, and you're just putting like suspenders on them and those Mennonite hats on them.
Yeah.
I fucking wish. No, it was just a Mennonite filled with asshole Mennonites.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, don't mean to change the subject. Doc, you said you lived on a research facility?
Yeah.
What were you researching, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I mean, I didn't know a lot of the ins and outs of it. It was mostly bio research and stuff surrounding fish.
Oh.
It was a lot of work on making fish the next beef. It was... And fuck, was it ever just a nightmare, because a lot of the stuff that they were doing was like, okay, if we have massive tanks that are inland, that are large outdoor tanks where you can grow like thousands of fish at a time, like how do you clean those tanks? What's the best kind of feed to use when you're feeding those fish? What's the best way to raise them? How big should the tanks be? How big is too big? How much fish fit in each tank? The nutritional qualities of the fish that are grown as opposed to the nutritional qualities of fish that are found in the wild. And there's like all of these little techniques and ins and outs that a lot of fish farmers were using inland that they like getting that from them was like pulling teeth. But the University of Guelph that funded the facility basically said, look, if you give us your secrets, we will come back to you later with a book of everyone's secrets. Because the only way that we're going to make this a profitable industry is if we all work together. Because there's no real big name in fish farming inland. Because it's so much cheaper just to fish out in the ocean.
Okay, when you said making fish the next beef, I just thought, okay, so that's what was it, genetic modification? Great, my dad's gonna like that.
No, it was just like, and they had two major kinds of fish there, which was Arctic char and rainbow trout. The rainbow trout tasted really good.
Cowfish.
But despite the fact that rainbow trout was very delicious, it wasn't as nutritious as Arctic char. Arctic char definitely had a lot more nutrients to it, but tasted like ashes and dirt. Yeah. So they didn't get to, like, my first question I asked was like, so you're gonna crossbreed them, right? And they turned around and were like, whoa, slow your roll there, champ. Like, we are a long ways up. Yes, eventually, but we are fucking miles from that. Like, right now, we need to
First, you gotta learn how to grow and make activity good.
Yeah, like, we have to figure out how to, like, really nail down the, like, 10 out of 10 best way of growing them in land, and then we'll get to that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Fish are surprisingly difficult to grow in farms.
Yeah. It's frustratingly difficult. That being said, the studies were able to show that using like certain kinds of feed, that you would get healthier, bigger, stronger, and more nutritious fish grown in tanks. So that was a cool thing, but they were like, yeah, but you have to run this facility all year round, whereas people over in the fishing industry typically just need a boat. And they go out in the water, and they just pick all the free fish out of the fucking ocean. So they don't have to grow them or feed them at all, ever. They just go catch them and then bring them in. And so it's wicked fucking cheap by comparison. And then the argument to that is, of course, that the transportation costs and everything else that's involved in getting them fresh to other people's plates is a bit of an ordeal. Whereas if you have lots of facilities inland that can grow them, not only are they bigger and more nutritious, but they're also fresh. So it goes in circles. Thank you, Kara.
That does also explain one of my grandfather's stories. He said something about sneaking into a fishery place or some sort of research facility in order to do some sort of fishing or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
So for some reason or another, I think my grandfather in his younger days may have snuck into your facility to do a wee bit of fishing.
Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me. The security that was there was literally my dad lived in the house on the grounds. So if the alarms went off, then he'd have to go down and check out what was going on. But like the fences didn't have alarms, and there wasn't any alarms in the tanks. So if somebody just went down there and scooped some fish out of one of the tanks and then ran off into the woods, like, we didn't really have a system for stopping them from doing that. But we lived in the middle of Mennonite country, so it would have been, like, if somebody wanted to actually get in there to get one or two fish, like, it would have been a fucking ordeal. So,
do you ever have school trips come through there?
I was going to say, he didn't see a white-haired Happy Newfie there one time, did he?
Once I did a video project on it when I was in grade school. We did a video project on it, but, like, school trips never came in. The news came by a few times, but that was it.
I just have distinct memories of going to a fish farm in my younger days.
In my younger days.
I swear to God. Esteban.
Yes?
I swear to God, if you're spoofing me, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug when we first meet.
If I'm what?
If you're spoofing me right now, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug. Just give you a big old squeezy hug that your eyes pop out of your head.
I can give you a better bear hug.
I was going to say, I've met Esteban. I don't think that'll go the way you think it will.
It's not going to go your way, buddy. I got to tell you.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
I generally don't have competitive bear hugs.
There we go. We got one more ticket in. Right under the wire. All right, let's do this. Bam.
Yeah.
Close entries. We got 3 people, ladies and gentlemen. We got Cutie Kitsune with 1 ticket. We got the Phoenix Paw, a.k.a. Minion, with 1 ticket. And we got Balthus Homewood coming in with 1 ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, for the ownership of Agony, a survival horror game involving a lot more tits than you'd expect, our winner is...
Baby scrub the pillows with, like a sponge. Baby sponge.
the Phoenix Paw.
Oh dear.
We're shipping hell
Congratulations,
off to
Minion!
Sweden.
You now own this game, unfortunately. Hooray!
We've decided to ship hell off to Sweden.
So you just
Like,
said
the game actually looks like a lot of fun, but I absolutely can't stream it. There's way too many titties and stuff going on for me to do it.
You're just like someone getting lewds.
Somebody's getting some loots.
she offered to draw lewds for whoever got that game.
Good lord. And we're back into the pool. All right. And last but not least, for a copy of Surgeon Simulator, the first game that I did a Let's Play for, and very popular games for people like PewDiePie and Markiplier, our winner is... Cutie Kitsune! Congratulations, Cutie, you won yourself a copy of Surgeon Simulator!
Now you too can fail at being a doctor.
Yeah, now you two can absolutely kill someone, like just murder them on accident. So we got Vicky streaming, we got Swing Point streaming. If anybody wants to guide the raid, Quad's got a Swing Point in there. We're 1 for 1 on each side. If anybody else wants to jump in. Raktai already got Sword Bro stream, so we got 1 vote for each. I will guide the raid to whoever after the credits. But until tomorrow, though, my brave citizens, I think I'm going to be doing more of the Soma tomorrow. We're going to be getting into more of that because I want to get that done before the end of Spooky Month. Yeah. Over the weekend, I don't know if I'm going to be playing something. If I have the health for it, I would like to play some stuff like fucking... Maybe some more Friday the 13th. Maybe some SCP if we can get that up and running. Next Wednesday, we're going to be doing some Phasmophobia for sure. And we'll see what's going on. But until then, though, my bravest citizens, I'm Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat. This evening, your kind and benevolent DM. We are joined, of course, by our wonderful players that we have here with us. Top of the list, we've got Esteban playing Talrand, our skeleton archer.
In this city, we get to meet Talrand of Mists.
And we've got Raynor playing Drakir, our draconian sorcerer.
Happy to be here, folks.
And we've got Quad playing Alloy, our warforged warrior.
Those dogs ain't right. They ain't right.
They ain't right, yo. And we've got Keldaka Gray playing Sneck, our kobold cleric.
These are not nice danger woofers.
And we've got Planthier playing Caleb, our Air Genasi rogue.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood.
What?
I love that. It's like, what do you tell you to do? Don't forget the fucking oath. What's the first thing you do? You forgot the goddamn oath. And last but certainly not least, of course, we've got NBsaurus Rex playing Piffles, our goblin bard.
Ability spanking today. It was fun.
And we will see you all again next time on our next live stream. End of line.